Good morning, everybody. Hey, what's up? It is Thursday, TGITH. It's a beautiful Thursday morning. We're broadcasting live from Texas City, Texas. It's 8:38 a.m. This is 99.5 FM. It's Kickstart. We're going to be on till 11. I'm Gardy.
And I'm Curt.
Are you ready for this?
I'm super excited. We're going to be talking about volunteering and why students should be serving throughout the day. We're going to be talking to organizations like Chef's Tables Charities. We're going to be talking to the Kimball Foundation. We might be talking to A&A Manufacturing and Fabrication that's located in Lamarck. There's tons of places that we're going to be talking to today about volunteering and why you should serve in the community.
Curt, why should somebody serve?
Well, you know, we are a part of a ministry of Abundant Life Christian Center, and we serve every day, whether that's helping out, like picking up trash, which I know the city of Lamarck is doing a trash pickup day, the first weekend in April. And there's going to be tons and tons of opportunities to serve throughout this year. I remember it was my first year on staff at Abundant Life. We did that Serve Week. Do you remember that, where we went out into the community and I think I remember every day we did something new and different. So there's tons of opportunities for people to volunteer, and I think it helps give back to the community, and that's why somebody should serve.
So the point of this today is to bring in students, bring in young people, bring in the next generation, kids from all these different high schools. If you look behind us, there's an actual poster, and it's Leadership, Education, and Development Series. They're welcoming all these students in today so they can talk to nonprofits in the community, so they can talk to different organizations like the Galveston County Food Bank, like Chef's Table Charities, like the Campbell Foundation, how they can get involved. And it starts now. You know, if you want to affect the next generation, you got to start them young.
Right. You got to start thinking in high school. I remember I was a part of the Boy Scouts. I was actually an Eagle Scout, and we would go out and we would serve in the community all the time. We did canned food drives where we would go literally, it was so cold in Nebraska, but we would go and door to door and either hand out a bag. Like that was one Saturday, all day Saturday. We went to every single house in like the neighborhood and placed a bag on the door. And then we'd go back the next Saturday and we'd pick up all the bags. We did, you know, those aluminum cans, like pop cans, soda cans. You would crush them and put them in. We would go and recycle those and take them to the recycling center. So there was tons of opportunities as a young kid. And I think that helped me get to the point where I am at today, where I want to volunteer, where volunteering is just kind of second nature.
Yeah, being involved in an organization like the Boy Scouts, that can help. But there's also different opportunities here in Galveston County, including the Boy Scouts. There's tons of ways to get involved. Let us know. If you're watching on Facebook, what do you have going on today? Are you in the area? Are you in Texas City? Maybe you can stop by, pop in, say hello. There are a ton of guests that we're going to be working into the show today, so I'm excited about that. A lot of familiar faces. Some are brand new. I've already been making my way back to the kitchen. I was looking for some tacos. They didn't have any tacos back there, but they did have some Starbucks coffee, and they also had some pastries. None of that stuff was CHOPA approved. I will say that. I had a baby cinnamon roll, and then I also had like not a bear claw, one of those little things, like a pastry with a strawberry thing in the middle. But don't tell Dr. CHOPA. I'm hoping y'all don't tattletale on me, but let us know. What do you have going on today?
Yeah, so I forgot. This is probably the first time that we've gone on location that we haven't had tacos. And I should have thought ahead. I should have just always planned that when we go on location that I got to supply my good friend Gardy with some tacos.
That would be appropriate. You know, there's a saying, and I've seen this pop up on the internet lately. You can either show up late, or you can show up late and bring tacos, and then you're just not late anymore. You know, because then you're like, oh, it's the guy who's late, showed up empty-handed, only brought something for himself. But if you show up late and you bring tacos, then you're just the guy who brought tacos.
Right.
That may be something you kind of just like, think about that for a
if
while.
I showed up late every single day to work, but I brought tacos, it'd be okay.
Yes, because if you showed up at the same time, not like later, then you already do show up late.
Right.
But if you showed up like the late time that you already do, and you brought tacos, then I'd be like, oh, hey, Curt brought tacos. There's Curt. Man, he's here. Let's go. Me and Ethan would be pumped.
Yeah, it's going to be really, I could see that would make it a good day, right? Like you'd be like, everything else that you've ever done up to this point is no longer a bad thing anymore.
No, just for the day. Like, I mean, there's still like the rest of your decisions that you have to live with for the rest of your life. You know, for the day. But
But tacos make everything better.
Yeah, if you show up like 10, 15 minutes late. I mean, if you show up like 4 hours late, then you can't bring tacos and be like, hey, I brought tacos. No, then you're just the guy who showed up 4 hours late. But like 10 minutes late, 15, 20's pushing it.
20's pushing it.
Yeah, so let us know. Hey, what are you guys up to today? This is 99.5 FM. It's KHEA.com. It's Kickstart. We're going to be on till 11 a.m. We're at the Charles D. Doyle at the center over here, and it's exciting. I mean, it's the heritage room. Like, all these different rooms in this building have names, and it seems like they've been named strategically. And I would be interested to see how these like different rooms got their name.
Right. There's tons and tons of different places that these kids are going to be serving in today. They're going to be doing Jeopardy later on in one of these other side rooms with Chef's Tables Charities. And there's even some stuff taking place outside. So there's plenty of opportunity. There's about 180 kids that are going to be coming here today. We got a little lost this morning trying to find this place, but we found it finally.
Yeah, we were a little bit lost, but we found it. We're here. We're excited to be able to start the day with you guys, and it's going to be a beautiful day. It's 8:44. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. Whenever we search the Nestler Center, the first thing that pops up is like the aquatic center, like the Nestler Aquatic Center, which looks like it's a ton of fun. It's almost a water park-esque, you know?
You know, we could possibly in the summer go live from the Nestler Aquatic Center and not Nestler Center like we are today.
Yeah. It's
and have like the kids in the background playing in the pool, and we're like out in our swimsuits doing our entire morning show. That would be the great show. No?
Yeah. I'm just imagining you, and I got a visual, so I'm trying to break it down and get it out. but it looks like a little Schlitterbahn over there, like over at the Nestler Center. Has anybody been before? Weigh in, let us know. Also, send us a text, 346-704-1806. Let us know, have you been to Texas City lately? We saw the Galveston County Food Bank. Our friends from the food bank are here today, and they're actually sitting right to my left over here. They have a table set up, so the director is here. He has his team here. There's a ton of opportunities for you to volunteer. There's opportunities for you to get involved if you want to, whether that's in the food bank or any of the other organizations. You know, this event is meant to encourage young people. It's meant to encourage children to start to volunteer, but I feel like hopefully this event will encourage you to volunteer as well. You know, if you are already volunteering, why not consider, you know, broadening out the different ways you give back? Right.
There's have you done any other volunteering besides what we do here at Abundant Life and what we do for the radio station?
Sure.
Talk a little bit about what you've done volunteer-wise.
Yeah. So, like, in my life, let's see. So, you know, growing up, I was in choir, and I would consider this, like, I guess, like a public service volunteering. But, you know, you'd go sing at different events, like at nursing homes, and just loving on people, singing Christmas carols, bringing them, you know, gifts. There was times that I went and volunteered at summer camp where I was, like, interning to help, I guess, mentor kids, and just all kinds of different opportunities. I mean, there's a ton. It's hard to think back right now, and it's like, hey, have you ever volunteered? Well, yes, I have. You
know, even thinking about just like volunteering and giving back to the community, you think about our intern Ethan, right? One of the things that he's doing is he's working with our other intern Darian, taking guitar lessons. Those are volunteer opportunities where you're helping instill something that you know into one of the kids. I think that still helps as volunteer, and you're helping kids not just give back to the community, but you're helping them grow.
Yeah, you're imparting into the next generation. Ethan, he's a smart kid. You know, he's already doing a lot. He's brand new to this area, and so for him, he used volunteering as an opportunity to get to make friends, to get to meet new people, and you know, move to a brand new state. Really, he's from Kentucky, and he just moved here last year, and like right before the school year. So it's not always the easiest thing.
Yeah, so there's plenty of ways to volunteer, and one of the people that we volunteer with and give back with, and we did a community food drive last November. We've helped them when they were doing stuff for the federal workers who are without money, and that's Chef's Table Charities. We have Natasha Davis, who is here already bright and early.
Good morning, yes.
What's
Good
up,
morning,
Natasha.
Natasha.
Good, how are you guys?
You know, Doing amazing. Doing really good today.
Good.
So everything looks like it's running smooth here.
Yeah.
You're going to be operating as like a Jeopardy host.
Yes.
Is
yes.
that Alex Trebek?
Yes.
So
yes. I
are
will be
you-
Alex Trebek. Yes.
Okay,
no.
I can see it.
Yeah. Can you see it? Yeah. No. We are going to do Charity Jeopardy. So we get to talk to the kids a little bit about what it is to run a charity, what we do as Chef's Table Charities, and then play a little game of Jeopardy, and then they get to do a random act of kindness or pick a random act of kindness, and then they get some information about what they can do to volunteer, how they can help out, this kind of stuff.
If somebody has never heard of the term random act of kindness, what actually qualifies as a random act of kindness?
Anything, any kind act. So it could be holding the door open. It could be smiling at somebody. Maybe you buy a cup of coffee for the person behind you in line when you're at Starbucks. It could be anything. Just anything that can brighten someone else's day. Yeah.
I guess that's pretty important.
Yeah.
You know, that, like, what's the opposite of a random act of kindness? Like, is it being mean or just like ignoring the situation?
I would think just ignoring the situation, because that in turn is just the selfish act, right? So when you are actively trying to put kindness out there, it's about making someone else's day better, right? So it's like if I hold the door open for you and you're just having a bad day and I say good morning, and then you're like, oh, well, okay, maybe it is a good morning. You know, it's just that. It's just trying to spread that kindness instead of the I'm grumpy and I'm going to, I'm worried about my situation.
Is it possible to make a habit like that's a lifestyle? Like you can develop that as your lifestyle. Well, it's just like randomly, hey, I'm going to be kind.
Yeah, I think you have to choose it as your lifestyle. I think you have to kind of make that conscious decision when you wake up that today is going to be a good day and I'm going to help other people have a good day. And some days that's a very hard decision, I'll be honest. It's, some days it's not easy. So, yeah.
Chef Mary Bass is speaking as a keynote speaker here later on today, this morning, I believe. She's gonna be behind us as we're doing this. Do you have insight on what she's going to be talking about?
I know she's going to be talking about the importance of volunteering. I think that's her topic. But I don't know what the details are.
I've heard rumors. Are you the speechwriter? Chef Mary Bass, are you her speechwriter?
No. You know what? Chef Mary Bass, she has this amazing talent that she doesn't need speeches. So you give her a topic and she can talk about it. Me, I have piles of notes for Jeopardy.
How long did it take you to come up with the Jeopardy topics and notes? You developed the whole game by yourself, right?
Yeah, me and Google, like what do you ask a charity? And I think I've been working on it since we signed up, and they were like, you need a hands-on activity. So it's been like weeks of me like trying to redo the questions and asking my kids if this makes sense, asking Ben, so it's. But I'm kind of neurotic. I'm kind of a perfectionist when it comes to these things. So I might have overthought it.
Can we get like a taste of
Jeopardy? Right?
Oh man!
And you got to ask it in a. You got to ask it in a question. It doesn't have to be for the charity. Maybe it can just be like Curt's Life Jeopardy.
Curt's Life Jeopardy.
Then
we could have. So we have 4 categories.
Okay.
So we have nonprofit charity, we have Chef's Table Charities, the Honor Network, and then kindness. So, and then you have 200, 400, and 600 in each of those because I couldn't think of any more questions beyond that.
Did KHEA radio get its own category too?
Natasha.
No.
Natasha.
Sorry.
This interview's over. No.
I'm never welcome back. No.
Hey, can we get no.
Next.
Okay.
It's 8:52 a.m. We're talking to Natasha Davis from Chef's Table Charities. Chef Mary Bass just flew back into town literally, I think, hours ago to be able to make
because their
this
flight was actually
today.
delayed. So
Where did she go?
Chicago.
How was that? Have you heard any feedback from that trip?
I heard that the food was amazing.
I saw the crickets.
I heard the crickets were the best. So I'm wondering if she brought some back for you, Curt, since you love them so much.
Oh, if she shows up here with crickets, I might have to duck underneath the table and run.
Yeah.
You can come be the Jeopardy host.
He would probably be a good Jeopardy host.
He probably would. I think he would.
He would take it super serious.
Yeah.
I heard he's done it for 35 years.
Really?
Alec? Yeah, I saw an article the other day. He's going through some health issues again.
Right.
Oh, okay.
I think it's like cancer or something like that.
I don't really keep up with Mr. Trebek so much.
Yeah, he just announced it probably last month, but they were talking about he's done it since the 1980s or something.
Wow.
But his mentality, he took a positive approach. I feel like that's kind of the cool thing about what he did was he was like, yeah, I may have cancer, but I'm going to I'm gonna beat this just like I've beaten every. Because
so
he had
good.
another health scare earlier in his career too,
Yeah.
and so he's just like, no, I'm gonna beat this. So
Yeah.
watch out. We're still gonna be doing Jeopardy for another 35 years.
Right.
Yeah, it's a great show. I don't think I would be good at it.
I don't think I would either.
Do they have
because
study books?
They have to. Like, I don't know. Either that or I'm very mediocre when it comes to random facts.
and trivia. Yeah.
But-
Do you think you'd be good at Jeopardy if you went on the show?
I'm never really good at Jeopardy because I always think of it after the fact. Like I'm like, oh, I know the answer now, but like in that moment when you have 10 seconds or so,
It's the pressure.
After the
After
person
they-
answers the question, you're like, oh, I knew that.
totally
Oh,
knew
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Well, obviously, they just told you the answer. You know what game I started playing? And this is on I have Comcast. What a great
Shout out
deal
to
that
Comcast.
is. Great deal. You know,
Right.
money well spent, right? Okay. Well, they have games on there. So my kids will play some of the games. It's like, hey, I want to play games. And it's a talk in the remote thing. But they have Deal or No Deal. Do you remember that? It used to be Howie
Yeah.
Mandel. I don't know if he's still the judge, but I just played the game, and I think I'd be good at that one.
Right.
Oh, we should do that for our next hands-on event. Deal or no deal. That'd be good.
Yeah.
volunteer or no volunteer.
Yeah.
That
You know-
game's easy, though, because it's just like a chance thing.
I remember when I was in high school, they had Quiz Bowl. Do you guys do that in Texas? It's like you get a
that
team of
sounds
the
Yankee-ish.
you get a team of the super smart kids in school. So I was definitely
Dang,
on that team.
stinks You never made it.
Yeah.
I was on the Quiz
Oh,
Bowl.
you were. Oh,
Okay.
He was the team captain.
But you answer trivia questions versus another school. So it was like Quiz Bowl. And I
All the
remember
cool kids.
like and you had like a tournament almost like March Madness in a way, but you like work your way to the championship. Like you beat the other team and you have to answer like these speed rounds and what did they score. So I was on the team. The only year that I was on it was when I was in like 7th, 8th grade. And their question was, what two parts of the body begin with R? Like what two major groups of the body begin with R?
Major groups or parts?
Major parts or something like that.
Okay.
So I was like,
Arm?
no. Well, so I like I said it in my head, but I didn't have the nerve to press the button because I didn't want to be wrong. But I knew it. It was respiratory and reproductive. The two R's. I knew it. And
Wow.
to this day, I will always remember that question and that answer
Because it stuck with you.
because it stuck with me because I got it wrong because I didn't have the nerve. I didn't have the will. And, yeah, I told the coach, I was like, Coach, I knew the answer. And I didn't hit the button. And she's like, well,
That does us no good.
that does us no good. Like, you're the reason why we lost this round.
What did that moment teach you in life? Was that like a learning opportunity for you, or was it just another?
What did 13-year-old
Another time.
Kurt think?
Man, 13-year-old Kurt, I would be scared to know what he was thinking still. To
Did
this
you
day, I
learn
don't know.
anything from that? I mean, is that like a moment where you're like, you know what, I have to take a chance, hit the button, answer the question.
Go for the gusto.
Go
Yeah.
for the gusto. So are you going to have kids like that today?
That's a no, I guess. I just asked you a question 3 times, literally ignoring
It's
me.
like, and
Why am
segue.
I even here? Does anybody know? No, for real. Does anybody know why? Like, what?
Because we're talking about volunteering.
Did
and
you
giving
volunteer your
back to
time
the
today, Gardy?
community.
No. No.
They paid us to come out. No, they did not. No, we're out here in Texas City. We're live on location. We're talking about the Leeds Serve Day, where they're bringing in a whole bunch of organizations. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 schools that are going to be participating in today. High school students. I think they said up to 180 kids are
That's
going to be
awesome.
here today learning about giving back and serving. Did you ever do that in high school? Where did this idea to volunteer and give back kind of work for you in Chef's Tables Charities?
Well, I mean, growing up in private school, I think everything is volunteering, right? You have your parents volunteering, you have, everyone kind of chips in and gives and helps out and stuff like this because you constantly do fundraisers and you constantly do community events. But I don't know, growing up, we just always did these things. Like, it was just kind of normal. Like, at Christmas time, you adopt a family or you help somebody out. And my dad's a pastor, so I think that was just kind of our daily, like, we just always did these little things. It was quite normal. So I don't know, I guess it was just a part of how I was growing up, and I'm very fortunate to have that and instill that into my kids as well. But then with Chef's Table Charities, that just kind of happened, So that was hey, Mary, if you need help setting up a dinner, let me know. And now it's become this, big, huge thing with us. But
Can you share more about your children? Because you mentioned how you're instilling that in them. Like, have they been happy to do that, or how
Yes
does that
and
go?
no.
Yeah.
I mean, they're 11 and 13, right? So they're really happy with the idea, and then when they get there to work, it's like, oh, how long are we doing this? But it just kind of depends. And I'm a real believer that everyone has their own strengths. So for like my older one, she's 13. She's very like her mama. She's kind of very logical and and this is how we do things. And so when we did the food bank, she was really good at filling boxes. Where my younger one, who's 11, is still kind of, very much a kid, wants to go play in the dirt and, this kind of stuff. So she was good at sorting and separating, and then maybe going and playing with kids that had come to pick up boxes and then kind of bouncing around, But you gotta, not everyone is good at the same task. So I think that is very important for when you have volunteers, is to be able to see kind of where you can use people the best.
Okay.
I just see that Angie Butler said, "Say hi when you see Layla." She's just like back here already waving. So I don't know if you saw
waving.
that on our camera. Actually, you probably did. You probably saw Layla back there. So shout out to
It just
Angie's.
happened, for the delay. Okay, so right now it's 8:59. It's almost 9 o'clock. It looks like there are a ton of students that are getting settled in, finding a seat. They're going to be hearing some public speaking. I know Mary Bass is one of the speakers. Pastor Catherine Rudolph is going to be one of the speakers. There's a ton of other opportunities for these children and kids and high school students to get connected to local nonprofits, local places where they are going to be able to serve, volunteer here in the future.
Yeah, we're going to be talking to places like the food bank later on. We're also going to be talking to the event coordinators, finding out more about what this event is and why it's so important for the kids to be here. We're right now talking to Chef Tables Charities.
Chef Natasha Davis. I like
Chef
that.
Natasha
you might as
Davis.
well just go to culinary
I know, I just
school.
need
Like,
to go
why
and become
not?
a chef, yeah. Just so I could have the title and wear the cool jackets.
Just for the hat alone. Yeah, hat and
Yes,
wardrobe
the hat,
alone.
Yeah.
Chefs, they got some really nice clothing. It's
They
not fair.
do. I know, it's not fair.
They get it like embroidered names and where they're working.
They have all
and-
the buttons. It's amazing.
Yeah. Have you picked up any of the techniques and secrets from hanging out with Chef Mary Bass so much?
No, because we hardly ever cook. So I wish we did. Or she cooks and
You get to eat it?
I get to eat it. Yeah,
Okay,
because I'm the
that's-
one on the computer and she's in the kitchen chopping and we're talking, and then there's food and it's amazing. I think she's here actually.
Oh, I
But
do.
yeah,
I hear
no, I
her.
don't.
You can kind of like just
I
feel
feel
her
her. There
presence.
she is. Yep.
I feel her presence. One of the things that I love about volunteering, Gardy, and it kind of comes back to like Chef's Tables Charities a little bit. I love eating food when you volunteer. Like, I feel like volunteering, you get tons and tons of food. Hi, Chef Mary.
Don't show up late, show up with tacos.
Yes.
Hey, look at God.
God.
Thank you, Mary.
God did that.
Man,
Where did you get these tacos from?
the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit. Just like listening to my cries and prayers this morning, Chef Mary Bass brought us some tacos. Aguacate. Oh, man, this is delicious.
Nice.
I haven't even had it yet. Thank you so much.
So time to go to the FM so you can eat your taco. No.
Do you want to sit and talk about kind of what you're going to be talking about for a little bit?
Do you have time? Do you have a second? Or you got to go?
We're gonna hand off.
All right. So we had Natasha Davis in studio. She's a part of Chef's Table Charities. We got Chef Mary Bass, who is a part of Chef's Table Charities. She's rocking
I don't know
Chef's
if
Table
Natasha
shirt.
is necessarily a part of Chef's Table Charities or she runs the entire
runs.
thing and my face just gets out there. Like,
Hey, that's actually what she told us before you came. No,
yeah,
I'm just-
exactly. I believe she should. We literally just said this.
Hey, if you're
That was
watching on
awesome.
social media, feel free to share this video out right now. We're trying to spread some positivity today. You have a role in that as well, so let's be the good.
Look at these.
We can do that on Facebook.
So I don't
right
eat.
now.
I don't eat eggs
Okay.
as a whole category.
You're missing out.
Like no scrambled
sure-
eggs, no nothing.
I order my fried rice without eggs.
Really?
I can find them.
Hey, have you been to the restaurant at 646 yet where they do the hibachi?
Yes, it's amazing.
You like it?
Yeah, I like it a lot.
But you have to order your rice on the side because you're like, no eggs. But you
Yeah.
get all the veggies and everything else in there?
everything else.
Yeah.
I'm fine. But eggs no. So they made all my tacos with eggs.
Oh, this looks so good. I'm
You're
so
gonna-
excited to have
you're gonna
tacos.
enjoy it.
You should have seen Gardy's face like light up. Like Gardy was sitting here like
When you-
all like depressed. And then all of a sudden you show up with tacos and Gardy's like, woo, let's do this
I
show.
mean, why wouldn't you be happy?
It's tacos.
It's true. I do. I see that. There's tacos. This is amazing. We may be a little loud, but that's okay. Hey,
Just
right now, we're talking to Chef Mary Bass for a bit.
Yeah.
You're going to be the keynote speaker at this
a
event
keynote
today.
speaker.
The keynote speaker is what I heard.
Okay, well, I like that denotation, considering I have not written a speech yet and got in at 3 a.m. from Chicago because our flight was delayed.
You had the whole plane ride to write this speech, Chef Mary Bass.
Did you sleep?
I sat between two people like this in the backs of the backs. I didn't get to sit up in the cool kid part,
Right.
and I slept.
I don't
It
blame
was
you.
midnight, but it was late. No, there's no
So
writing
what are you going to
speeches.
be talking? You're talking in like
I'm talking about
20
the
minutes.
Should we give you pointers?
I'm talking in an hour.
Okay.
I have a whole hour.
Don't worry, Kurt is like a master speech
I might
writer
actually
over
have
here.
to not talk to y'all anymore because I just realized I could possibly put up a slideshow.
A
I don't
slideshow.
know. I brought my laptop, so I might be able
Mary,
to whip
no,
out a
I have a couple
slideshow.
pointers for your speech. Don't be
Okay.
nervous.
No, that's never gonna be.
I know you're going to struggle with that.
Okay, yeah.
So I just want to make sure.
Shout out to all of your friends and family members.
At
Shout-
KHEA Radio.
At KHEA
Shout out to my
Radio.
peeps in the
Only.
back.
Yes.
Yes. And don't ignore us if we start going like Mary, Mary, Mary.
Yeah, Mary.
How does KHEA get kicked out of their first ever event? Like how would that happen?
This is happening.
how.
There's so many
I don't
kids
know
here.
if
I
they
know,
would
there's
kick
a-
us.
how
If
many
they
did you
kick us
say?
out, they
I
just
think
want to
there's
invite
going
us
to be
back.
180 kids here today.
That's amazing. It's a great opportunity for them to kind of get their feet wet being a volunteer. Like this is because I think volunteerism should be a lifestyle and not an option. Like I have to do this for my college applications, or I have to do this to get out of trouble, or I have to do volunteerism should be a way of life. And we didn't when we went to growing up when we went to church, you didn't have a choice to volunteer. Like
You just
were
did.
You were voluntold.
It's just what you did.
It's just what you did, and it wasn't even an option. But now that we're adults, it's an easier part of life. And Natasha's great with that with her kids. She, has her kids doing all the activities that we have to do and all the setup that we have to do. And my kids, child labor is free. And we utilize it, to its finest.
But it's volunteering.
Is-a-mean.
Well, it's parenting.
With
It's
free
parenting,
food.
and it's good parenting.
It is good parenting. I mean, I think yeah, we're gonna tell ourselves that.
We talked about growing up. For me, I was in Boy Scouts and Eagle Scouts, and I think every month
You had a
we were
community
doing
service
something.
project,
Right? Community service project, and
Yeah.
I actually had to complete a service
certain
project
number of hours,
in order
yeah.
to get my Eagle Scout, and so
Right,
I
right,
actually
right.
built an awning over a picnic table.
Yeah.
For the middle school.
Right.
And that still stands today. When
That's
you go back to
awesome.
town, you see that. It's the only one that's there. There's an empty picnic table, and there's one that's up. But it was kind of cool to see,
Yeah,
it was.
that's a legacy that you've left by volunteering. What is this?
This is Gardy's new
feel
toy.
like
I got a
this
new
is
toy yesterday.
We
feel
went
like
to
this is what-
A&A in Lamarck, and he's like, I need a camera. And I was like, you know what? Okay, you can get this. So he
up?
got this camera. He was
like that you had
walking
to give
around the
him
entire
permission.
shop, showing it off.
Look at that thing. That thing's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's great.
I feel like it's one step away from checking out what my esophagus looks like, though.
Open your
up
mouth. I'm
wide.
gonna check your ears.
I don't have any tonsils, so we're good.
He loves it. I love that he loves this thing. It's great.
I like that they have 7 different schools represented here. They've got Ball High, Dickinson, Hitchcock, Lamarck. I'm assuming that's O'Connell.
O'Connell kind of looks like Oklahoma, or like what? Or
Santa
like
Fe and Texas
Orange
City.
County.
Texas City,
I bet that's O'Connell.
Santa Fe. I love
Where
it.
is O'Connell? I've never.
O'Connell
It's in
is
Galveston.
down off of 23rd.
Oh, it's
in
a high
Galveston.
school.
It's a Catholic high school.
Yeah, it's a Catholic.
Oh,
Oh, all this the schools and the kids. The kids had to.
There's a whole process for the kids to be able to.
Oh, they were
to come
picked
to this.
blind.
Oh wow.
Wow, that's amazing.
So these kids that are here today,
Chose.
they
like,
wanted to be here.
Yeah, nobody's forced.
They had
Nobody's
to apply.
voluntolding them to come here. They chose to be here.
well, one of the students that's here is Andrew Butler's kid, and
Oh, I love.
right? Like she's a good kid, and
She
she's
really
gonna,
is.
like-
No, she's not a good kid. She's like the greatest kid.
right.
Come on, Kurt.
Yeah, for sure.
Come on, Kurt.
I'm sorry.
I mean, because
I
you
didn't
don't-
give the compliment high enough. But
Because you don't. It's
that's the
because
kind
you
of
don't have
student
children
that's here.
that you can say that she is the greatest kid.
I can't say that because I
That's
don't
what
have
I'm
my
saying.
own
You
kid.
can.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. She's the greatest kid ever.
Ever.
Until I have one.
And
That's a scary thought.
10
Can you imagine
years,
how Kurt's
20
kid-
years
You're going to
from
have them
now.
volunteering, right?
Volunteering all over. They're going to be in Eagle Scouts. They're going to be in Girl Scouts. They're going to be all over the place.
There you
They're
go.
going to be in both.
Well, your Boy Scouts now take girls, so you could do that.
I know, right?
All right, if you're watching on Facebook, good morning. It's 9:08. This is KHEARadio.com, 99.5 FM. Yesterday we had Mike Roses in studio, and one of the coolest things that I saw about his feed, like he made a post, like, hey, I'm going to be on KHEA.
Uh-huh.
Then I saw about 4 screenshots of people watching from different locations on the internet. Not even just KHEARadio.com, but like, you know, like online radio or like the
TuneIn.
TuneIn app, all these different places that we don't even think about.
Oh, that's awesome
That there's
that you
access
have
to.
access.
KHEA Radio.
Gotta step up
on
your game.
everywhere.
Well, we want to monitor,
Cover
like, we
everything.
need, how many people are watching or listening from there, you know, all the time. We just
Yeah.
don't know. There's so many different ways, and technology has allowed this to happen, and we love it.
All right, y'all. I love your faces. I'm going to go whip out a slideshow in 10 minutes.
Give us a shout out.
Are you going to give us a shout-out on the
Be like,
slideshow?
shout out.
Shout out to my boys in the
You-
back.
Community drive. Talk about the community food bank.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
All right.
All right, Facebook.
Bye, y'all.
Hey,
Bye.
KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. Let us know. What do you guys got going on today? Is volunteering something that y'all have, you know, been instilling in your kids? Is it volunteering something that you grew up doing, or maybe you want to start getting involved in now? Let us know. Let us know. So, hello, we have Jennifer here with us. Jennifer, how are you doing today?
Good.
Can you share with us, you know, what exactly is going on here today?
Sure. So the Leads event is held twice a year. We do one in the spring and one in the fall. And the kids are selected from multiple districts within our county, and they have to fill an application process about why they want to be a part of it. And so once they get accepted to the program, we have specific events that they get to attend to help them grow. And so today we're going to do volunteering. Being a leader, you have to be able to give back to your community.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Why was this event something that you wanted to be a part of?
Well, as my kids have gotten older, I've really seen the value in giving back and being part, how important it is for the kids, for your parents to be involved, and how important it is just to be involved in your community. It helps them grow. It helps them stay grounded and stay on a great path for their future.
Do you think it's possible to be a leader and never volunteer?
I don't think you would be a good leader if you never gave back.
Yeah.
I think you absolutely have to give back in some sort of magnitude, and there's so many ways to give back. You know, with time, being supportive, you know, being a listening ear, things like that.
What does LEAD stand for?
Oh gosh, Leadership, Education, and Development Series.
Okay, perfect. I'm glad. I can't look back and be like, oh,
I
that's
did
Oh
earlier.
my gosh, I was gonna forget.
It's right behind his head, so he. I mean, you
like,
could look back, but it would just be like, oh.
There's 7 different schools represented here, all from Galveston County. Can you talk about the selection process to get the kids here? 180, right?
It's, I believe it's 186 that were selected for this event. And so basically what happens is they fill out a questionnaire.
Right.
And they have to, you know, be real detailed in their answers, you know, give examples of why they want to be a part of the event. And then it is blind judged. So 3 different people on the Leads committee review them and score them. And that's how they're accepted.
You know something else that's pretty interesting? Kim left a comment on our Facebook stream. She said her daughter Madison is here today. And then we had Angie, her daughter Layla, is here today
So
too.
wait, if you are a listener of KHEA Radio,
You're raising good kids.
you're raising good kids, right?
Yes.
I'm seeing a trend here, which is really cool. And I would bet that there's probably other listeners who maybe aren't watching right now or haven't commented that they probably have kids here today too.
There are, I know specifically, my daughter's a stingerette for Tech City, and she's not at the age to be able to do that. You have to be a junior or senior at your school. But there are a lot of the stingerettes here that they all work really hard in school. A lot of these kids have really good grades. They're really involved in different organizations. I know the schools are encouraging the kids to be involved by requiring volunteer hours. So it's not, you know, so they have that experience before they ever leave high school.
Wow.
Talk about, you know, for your daughter to be on that dance squad. I'm sure they're out in the community a lot as well, right?
Yes. She specifically has been working with the animal shelter. I know quite a few of the girls work with the Galveston County Animal Shelter. I think some of the girls have done the food bank. When Harvey happened, the girls teamed up together and they helped sort clothing. Some of them went to shelters. I know a couple of kids went and helped rebuild someone's home, so they are very involved, and it's very important to help the kids to grow and become better adults and leaders.
So it looks like there's a lot of different ways for these kids, juniors and seniors, and even younger, to get involved. I think it was the animal shelter, because we've talked to them before. Some of them have requirements. Oh, you have to be, a certain age and just different stuff like that. But even here today, like, are there other opportunities besides the ones that you mentioned where kids would be able to volunteer?
Yes, I believe with the Chef Mary's group, the Chef Charities tables, I believe that they don't have the specific age requirements. And I know there are some other organizations like the Campbell Foundation that's doing the Friendship Rocks and things like that. Now, I know like the Animal Shelter has a requirement. I'm sure some of the other organizations do. But, I mean, just call. I mean, even if a parent can go with, I know like the Animal Shelter specifically, because that's one we use. But if you're 15, you can go with a parent. So there are opportunities out there.
We actually have done some stuff with the Galveston County Food Bank before. We actually did a community drive, and we were there filming one day, and there were students who were there helping to sort all of the product and sort everything out.
They were from not Clear Falls, the Chargers, the one on the west side of
Clear Springs.
They were from
Clear
Springs, I believe.
Have you ever gone down there with your kids or to help, or what are you doing with your daughter that's kind of...
I haven't specifically been to the food bank, but I have gone with her to the animal shelter. And when she was younger, I was actually a Zumba instructor. And so we did a lot of Zumba-thons where we gave back to certain organizations.
Can we get some demonstrations of this?
Wait, you missed the best part here. She does a Zumba-thon.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
So
I want to
we
get
could do one for
KHEA.
KHEA.
Like, I don't know.
Can you imagine doing Zumba?
I can't. That's
Yeah,
what
we would do a Zumba-thon, so it was like a 2-hour party. And so we would have other instructors join in, and the kids can join in because it was age appropriate for everybody.
Sounds fun to
So,
me.
yeah.
Your shirt. Can I ask what organization you're representing?
I am here on behalf of the Leads Committee, but I work for the Safety Council of Texas City.
What is that?
We're responsible for the safety training for all of these men and women that go into the local plants, facilities, they're contractors. We help them know what they need to do to, one, prevent an disaster situation, and just keep them knowledgeable, and because things change all the time, and you've got to be safe. We got to protect the community, and that's what the biggest thing that the Safety Council does.
So some of that stuff from like Deer Park, that's some of the stuff that you try to help them through?
Right. So whenever someone's hired at specific facilities and they have requirements, they send their men and women to the Safety Council to do like their basic training, their basic plus training to learn about, what to do if you've got a ladder out, or what to do if something's really hot. And then we go even further into other more in-depth scenarios.
Wow. So somebody said Mission Texas City could use some help. If you could let us know, what is Mission Texas City? I'm guessing they're pretty local here to Texas City.
Mission Texas City?
Yeah, maybe another nonprofit organization that's doing some stuff. I have a question for you, Jennifer. Whenever it comes to like volunteering instilled in you, do you know like where that came from? Like, how did you get that desire? Did it just come from somewhere else, or where does that come?
I actually think that really got sparked when I became a Zumba student. And I saw what some of the instructors were doing, and then I became an instructor myself. But I started teaching the kids Zumba. And when I was teaching the kids Zumba, I saw how much it touched them to be such a positive role to them. And getting the different scenario, even though I was a mother, when you're a mom, you don't have the complete story, the whole way the kid feels, because you're the parent. But I got a different perspective. And so I think that really excited me about giving back. And then my daughter was also a Girl Scout, so it was, nice to be involved in some of those things. So it's just, I like helping people,
Yeah.
And so
it makes you feel good, too. Doing something good in the community, and then if you're able to help that next generation, you kind of like, it's like paying it forward.
Yes.
Have you ever been in Starbucks or even like seen something on social media when someone's like paying for the drink behind you, and they're like, oh, okay, well, I should pay for the person behind me.
We actually, a few years ago, we were at T-Bone Tom's several years ago with both of our daughters, my husband and
KHEA.
I. Yeah, in KHEA. And someone just randomly paid for our meal. And it was like, why did you do that? But it was so awesome, to experience that. And it was just like, wow, that was really nice, And so it does feel good to give back. And it is so important for our kids to learn that value.
One of the things that I wanted to ask was, what's kind of going on like behind us as they're going through today, and what are some of those organizations that they're going to be talking to, and why were those organizations selected?
So basically, what they're doing right now is they're just getting set up. They're going to do an icebreaker with all of the schools. They're going to throw the beach balls around, and they all have to answer a question. Whatever question shows up when they grab the beach ball, they have to answer that.
That was pretty neat because it was a little bit of a task to blow up all
Yes,
of those
it
beach
was.
balls.
You came over and asked us. I said, I need my lungs for the show. I can't.
I know. Yes, I think I did 4 or 5 of them myself. So I passed my pulmonary function test this morning. But they're going to do an icebreaker. That way the kids from different schools get to know each other. Since they're going to be dividing into separate stations, they're not necessarily going to stay, with their specific school. So it's a fun little icebreaker.
Because there's 7 different schools represented, so some of these kids don't know everybody that's here today.
Right.
This happens 2 times a year, you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
So once you are admitted, do you go to both times, or like every time you have to reapply blind entry?
No, you do reapply it's held for their junior and senior year. So they do apply. It's in the fall and the spring. We try to do a different type of scenario each time we hold it. In the fall, we had careers come out, and so the kids were able to divide out and see different hands-on careers. And then this is the first time to do the day of service, which is super awesome. And then if they attend all 4 between their junior and senior year, they get to go into a drawing for the scholarship.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
How long have y'all been doing the scholarship?
I know this has been, I think Leeds has been going on about 10 years, I think.
Okay, and I graduated in 2004, but is it too late for me to try and
Get that scholarship.
I have student loans.
Pay off. Oh, student loans. Don't get me started.
Right?
Oh.
I know, I just paid mine off a year ago.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going to be paying mine until I'm 80, so $300 a month.
A little bit at a time.
Just take it all. Take it all. Government, take it all.
Yeah.
As long as you have tacos, you'll be sitting good.
Yeah,
Did someone get y'all tacos?
yeah, look, somebody brought us tacos.
How
Mary.
awesome is
I
that?
want to try. Are you going to be mad if I eat this in
No,
front
go
of you?
ahead.
No,
Just
eat
want
your
to take
taco.
one bite.
Go ahead.
One bite. I'm only going to take one.
Yeah, so these have eggs in it. Chef Mary Bass does not eat eggs, but when it comes to breakfast tacos, she's like, they need eggs. So I'll even get them for you with eggs on there. It looks like there's a lot of cheese too, huh?
Did Chef Mary bring them?
She did, yeah.
Oh, nice. She took care of y'all.
Yeah, she's amazing. Are you a big taco person? Or like a foodie in general?
I'm not a big foodie, but I love me some Mexican food. Love Mexican food. We actually, when I was probably about 7th grade, we were out of state. My dad had to drive home, and he drove his hot sauce and queso back from Texas to Georgia in a cooler the whole trip because we love our Mexican food.
Have
That
you
makes
joined
sense.
the Talk of Taco group yet?
No.
On Facebook. Search for
Jennifer.
of Taco. She's going to do it right now.
We do it right now.
Have you liked KHEA Radio
Yes,
on Facebook?
yes.
Okay. Then you have to do Talk of Taco.
I've
People
seen
who are
it.
watching right now, stop what you're doing. Leave the stream if you need to. And go and find the Talk of Taco page group.
Okay, let's see if I can get it here.
Talk of Taco. There, we're going to like the page, and then we're going to join the group. You are
Okay.
now in.
Okay,
So
will you
anyti-
approve me?
I will. So
I
anytime
just got a notification. I got you.
anytime that you eat tacos or you see a taco
Even Mexican
or
food.
even a taco meme, take a picture of it, post it in the group.
Excellent.
That's all that we allow. You can post whatever you want as many times as you want. Businesses, you can do that
I love tacos.
as long as it's taco
I
related.
love Mexican food in general, but yes, you can't go wrong with a good taco.
Jennifer, I got you right now. You are in.
Jennifer is
Excellent.
in.
Yay.
Ava, you're in too because you were sitting on that on that pendant. So congratulations.
Thank you guys for
You
Taco
are now
Taco.
a member of Taco. Is
Do
there
I get
any?
a T-shirt?
We need to get Taco Taco T-shirts.
Oh,
we don't have
we've
any
had
shirts
that
with us.
one.
Kurt, give her your shirt. You can have this one.
Wait, you were talking about earlier that so we were talking about doing we showed up this morning, right? And we did. Okay, this sounds really bad, but we don't come to Texas City very often.
Well, we do, but not
But not as
necessarily
much
to
as
like
the Nestler Center.
The Nestler Center.
Right.
This is our first time in this building. It's beautiful.
We couldn't find it. We were like looking at. We were like, oh, it's the pool. Like, are we at the pool?
Yeah.
So we're like, well, I guess we could do our show here. And then I was like, you know,
Be on the water slide.
in summertime we could do our show live from there. And I was like, we could be in our swimming suits. And Gardy's like, Kurt, no, no one will tune in for that.
There's
like-
too many children at the Nestler Center pool during the summer.
Oh.
It goes down over there, I've heard. It's like a little Schlitterbahn just driving
It
by.
is.
It's amazing.
It gets packed, yeah.
Do you live in Texas City?
I actually live in Lamarck.
Hey, cool.
Yeah.
Did you grow up in this area? Mm-hmm. From
Yeah.
in Lamarck or like
I
Galveston
grew
County?
up in Lamarck. I'm BOI, born on the island. Woo, you know, you got to
Yeah.
throw that out there. But no, I grew up in Lamarck, but we actually lived in Texas City.
Okay.
'Cause
Yeah.
It's got all that weird, you know.
Well, that's the thing about our area in Galveston County. It all just intertwines. You don't
It
even
does.
know you're in Texas City, and you think you're in Lamarck, and I don't know. It's just a big confusion. I grew up in Lamarck. I moved to Lamarck when I was about 10 years old, and then lived here till I moved away and did some other stuff, and then ended up coming back.
Yeah.
Because Galveston County really is nice. You have a little bit of everything. You know, whenever it comes to the water, you know, the beach. Then there's like KHEA, Boardwalk.
Yeah.
There's like the country in Santa Fe. Our friends have farms. You know,
Ooh.
it's really fun.
Speaking of farms, that's a good place to volunteer. You learn a
Yes.
lot when you volunteer on a farm. Like you get muscles broke. You get, woo. You work on a farm, Gardy.
I've never worked on a farm. Is that
you
what
get
those?
you get the
Or
muscles.
being involved with the FFA is a really phenomenal organization across the board here in Galveston County. I know there are a lot of kids involved in it. I mean, they learn a lot of responsibility being in that group. Like you said, the farming and just raising animals. It's
Yeah, the Galveston County Fair, Rodeo, and Cook-Off, and all of that stuff is about to take place.
Yes,
I think
it
it's
is.
April 5th.
Well, it starts this weekend.
I think
Tonight,
it starts. Yeah, I think it starts this
the
week.
cook-off is next weekend.
Yes, well, April 5th, we're going to be doing our morning show from the Cook-Off, one of our partners' tents. It's the Texas Pit Stop Barbecue. Their Cook-Off team is going to be out there, and we're going to be broadcasting from the tent. So we're excited about that because
Yeah.
last time we went to the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo and broadcasted from their tent. And so they're like, oh, y'all want some tacos? Y'all want some? Then we're like, yes, we do, actually. Yes, we do.
Yeah,
so
we
it was awesome.
actually live close to Texas Pit Stop, so we've
Yeah.
been frequent.
Don't ask it.
Oh, come on! Can
Ask
I
it,
ask
ask
it?
it, ask
Okay.
it.
They're
Have you had
good.
the Have
I'm
you had
gonna
the
take a bite of my
Casper
tongue.
sandwich yet?
No.
Okay, you have to go like today.
Okay.
Tonight for supper.
Okay.
You have to go to Texas Pit Stop Barbecue, located in Lamarck, and you
Right.
have to order the Casper sandwich.
Okay.
The Casper sandwich is named after me.
Right.
It is a menu item on their board, and it's a brisket, and mac and cheese sandwich.
Oh my goodness.
It's so good. It's the best. It's worth it. And it's again named after me, so you have to go.
So don't go get my cholesterol checked tomorrow.
Nah. The other thing that they have, and you'll see it on the screen below you, is the keto nachos.
Oh.
Keto nachos. If you're watching on the Facebook stream, you can see those keto nachos. If you're listening over the FM, it's actually like pork rinds that they make into nachos, so it counts as keto nachos.
Oh wow.
Kurt, what are pork rinds?
I always say it wrong.
It's pork rinds, but chicharrones. You don't necessarily eat those, do you?
No, I don't. So that's why I don't know how to say it.
Do you like those pork rinds?
No.
I love them. If I'm on a road trip, and growing up, we would go on road trips all the time. And then I used to be a musician, and so like being on the road, hey, I'm stopping to get pork rinds, an energy drink, and I'm driving through the night.
Yeah.
And I'm good to go. Maybe some gum, and I'm having a good time.
All right, so
we gonna
Jennifer
stop
has to take off.
Yes. Probably.
All right,
Yes.
we're going to bring Christina on. Christina, thank you, Jennifer, so
You're
much.
welcome. Thanks for having me, guys. Thanks
All
for
right.
coming.
This is 99.5 FM, KHEAradio.com. It's 9:27.
Good morning.
This is Kickstart. We're going to be on till 11. Hey, there's a bunch of beach balls flying all over the place.
This is nuts. Like, it's getting loud. I'm going to have to keep turning my headphones up.
Let me turn yours up.
There you go.
All right, so can you introduce yourself, and the organization, and let us know what's going on today?
Yes, I'm Christina Payne, Executive Director of TCISD Foundation for the Future, and today is completely about service, giving, and volunteering. So our LEADS event has been started by Charles T. Doyle and his full family, and it offers so many different things to our community, stemming from leadership opportunities for our kids, career exposure, and also just secondary education information if they want to pursue different careers in college. So this year's, our Spring 2019 LEADS program today is about leadership and creating a comprehensive leader. So that embodies one who leads, one who volunteers, and one who gives. So we have folks speaking on that, and we have various stations here that allow kids to actually have those volunteer opportunities as well.
Why volunteering? Why should people volunteer, and why is it important to instill into young kids in high school?
We almost got hit by a beach ball.
I just saved you guys.
One
I'm
thing
watching.
that, if you look at some of the great community leaders and others, one thing that they focus on is philanthropic activities and giving back. So that includes not only giving financially, but giving your time, which is priceless. So we're instilling in our kids early, especially as they prepare for college, that volunteering and giving back to their community is essential.
Whenever y'all were picking through the kids, going through the applications, what were y'all looking for to be able to pick the right kids to be in here today?
So we have a full evaluation process. Each application is reviewed by 3 of our team members. And with that being said, there are various questions on that application, and it's simply 1, 2, or 3. The higher the score, the better the opportunity. Each one is individually reviewed, and the best of the best in our districts, Texas City ISD, Santa Fe ISD, Dickinson, Hitchcock, the best of the best in the area are here today.
Have y'all been able to follow any of the kids who have gone through this, the opportunity and see hey, where are they going?
So there are some. I will say that we are trying to put better mechanisms in place that kind of gauge successes of leads and kind of what they've been exposed to after experiencing these programs here. But we're working on something more on a continual basis. But as far as communicating back, we get testimonials from our kids. Today is actually the culminating leads event where we actually offer 3 $1,000 scholarships. So if you've attended 4 lead sessions, 2 in your junior year, 2 in your senior year, you're now eligible. At our seniors here, if you've attended all 4 sessions, you're eligible for a $1,000 scholarship today.
You just grab names out of a hat?
That's exactly what we're going to do. Roll and grab a name.
How many are eligible for that opportunity?
I think we have about 100 eligible in this room.
That's
because
cool.
we have some juniors here as well. So it's all of our seniors.
So one of the things that we found out earlier was that these are all students who chose to be here, that
Absolutely.
they want to be here.
Absolutely.
Why is that important for y'all to have that blind application?
Well, first, number one, leaders are initiators. So these are the kids in our district and others that are involved and that are eager to learn more, and LEADS is that type of event. I got to get out of here, guys. I got to get back to the show.
we appreciate
but
it.
thank you so much for being here. So very much. I'll be back.
All right, thank you.
This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. It's Kickstart. It's 9:31. I was just tearing into this taco that Chef Mary Bass brought us, and it's delicious. So we're learning
I think
all
there's
about
2 tacos in there, Gardy.
No, dude, it's a. Oh, it is. I
It's
thought it was a
2
burrito. I just took a
Gardy's
bite.
like eating the whole thing. And I was like, what are you doing? Take a look at this taco.
Mine's a burrito. I'm gonna let you talk.
Gardy was literally eating it as a burrito. I'm sorry, I can't, guys. Hey, if you're listening right now on Facebook, if you're watching on online, go ahead and share this video to all of your friends. If you're listening in the car on 99.5 FM, we have a Facebook page. It's at KHEA Radio. Maybe you stumble upon this for the first time. Maybe this is your millionth time. But we just want to say thank you for our listeners. Thank you for our viewers who tune in and watch what we're doing every day. We appreciate y'all, and you're such a blessing to us. So we're here live on location in Texas City for the LEADS Serve Day. Over 186 students are here from 7 different high schools, learning about why volunteering is important, why it's important to go out and serve. We've talked a little bit about this as well, but volunteering and serving is something that we here at KHEA Radio really believe in.
Yeah.
We've done events with the Galveston County Food Bank before. We've done fundraisers and stuff like that for the Birthday Joy program. All of these places are all things that give back to the community.
I will say this, KHEA Radio in its current form kind of started out of volunteering due to Hurricane Harvey. That's where we kind of got our launch. We are employees of Abundant Life, but during that week, we were working, it's kind of weird to say, but like 15, 18-hour days. It was, a little bit above and beyond what's required, but, just got to step up and do it. And that's how KHEA Radio kind of was molded into what it is.
I will say this. The one thing that was interesting for me was that was kind of the start of, like, my work. I'd maybe been on staff for full-time for, like, 3 months. Harvey hits, right? And then you're doing, like, 15-hour days, and you're like, oh, my gosh, what is this?
Yeah.
And
life, Kurt.
now it's
normal life.
I thought, man, I've never worked this hard in my life, but now it's a part of that and what we do as a culture.
Yeah. So if there was any new opportunity for you to volunteer in any aspect, what do you think it would be? Like, even if KHEA Radio could start like a new program or like start a new thing where we go and do something. Like, is there anything that's fresh on your mind or an idea that you have?
I would love to do more like after school programs.
Like Boys and Girls Club, like
Boys and
stuff?
Girl Club kind of mentoring, like playing flag football or basketball and stuff like that. I think that's huge for students. I'm one of those people that really loves the extracurricular activities like debate and speech. I used to be a debate coach.
I thought you were going to say Pokemon Go.
Pokemon
and
Go.
cheese.
Eating tacos.
Those are also extracurricular activities.
Right. And so that's kind of where would be focusing on, is creating avenues for kids outside of school to be a part of the community.
Whenever you were a kid, was there a mentor that you had? Obviously you had your parents, but was there somebody else in your life, maybe a coach or an instructor, a teacher that was able to impart into you that you kind of remember?
Actually, he was actually our Boy Scout
leader.
Yeah. I forget what they're called, Cub Master.
Are you sure
or something.
You're really a Boy Scout if you don't remember what your instructor's called?
And
Troop Commander, Drill Sergeant.
Drill Sergeant. And he was actually my doctor. He was the one who actually
You were
born to,
He's like Curtsy. We'll name him Curtsy.
He was the first person that I saw, and
right.
And the cool thing was that he was always giving back, and he always had good life advice, and so I loved working with him. He was kind of like the person that I wanted to be like. Oh, you know what? I want to grow up one day and be like him. Maybe one day I could be a Cub Master or whatever they're called. I could lead a Boy Scout troop. I need to get involved. We need to find a Boy Scout troop in our area that kind of is doing some good stuff.
I was gonna say, until obviously the doctor, he helped you come into the world, and then he mentored you as a Boy Scout leader. But then you came to Texas, and then I kind of have taken you under my wing to try and mentor you and to mold you into the man that you are going to be one day. Is that fair to say? I know you just didn't hear anything I just said, but just say agree.
Yes, yeah. You're like my mentor.
It's been tough.
I hear, by the way, I'm a little distracted because I hear Chef Mary Bass speaking.
So one thing that I want to do, and I've talked to you about this, is I would love to help, and I guess for lack of a better word, use mentor kids whenever it comes to future entrepreneurs, whenever it comes to financial decisions, just because I think that's something that we need. But right now we're going to kind of switch some things over, and we're going to be talking about the Galveston County Food Bank. Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Good morning. It's nice to be here. Welcome to
Richard,
today's event.
Yeah, y'all are just down the street.
Yes.
It's not too far. Like, how far are y'all from here?
Oh, probably about a mile and a half.
So this morning you knew exactly where you were going whenever?
Yes. I knew exactly. I came over yesterday to scout it out.
That's what we didn't do.
That's right.
We
So
just went over circling around being like, I know it's around here somewhere.
Richard has done this before, though. He's done many events like this. Speaking of community events and like giving back and serving, we hadn't even talked about our community baby shower that we did this last weekend at Abundant Life that KHEA Radio helped put on.
And the food bank was there.
we were there and we helped and we gave out some toys and some other things, I believe. So it was a great event. Our staff really enjoyed participating in it.
Yeah, that's something that I didn't realize. Y'all have a lot of food and you don't get food out whenever people need it and people can go donate. But you'll also have other items as well, like toys.
Yes, we don't get the other items very often, but from time to time an agency or an organization wants to provide something unique, and so have the ability to accept it, and then we make sure we get it out as soon as possible.
What are the requirements for somebody to come in and volunteer for you, like age? Is there any kind of requirements at all?
We have lots of elementary school students that come in, probably 6 years old, but any child between, say, that age and 16 have to have a parent or a teacher, with them. 17 and over, they can come individually without.
Do y'all see a lot of kids in high school, 17, 18-year-olds that do come and volunteer?
Yes, particularly in the summer and at spring breaks.
Okay, that's awesome.
When we were there setting up and filming for the community food drive that we did back in November, there were people who were there as well, like helping out, unboxing, sorting, putting the groceries wherever they needed. Why is volunteering important for these kids to kind of do?
Volunteering in general, for whether it be a student or an adult, gives you a sense of contribution to the community and to that organization, and assisting individuals that need assistance. For us, it's really important because all of our movement of food in terms of sorting and preparing distribution boxes is done by volunteers. So we don't have any paid staff that sort the food when it comes in, or the cans, whatever that might be, or assemble boxes for the homebound individual. We assemble 450 boxes a month for homebound individuals, and so all that's done by volunteers. And sometimes during the school year we'll have buses of children from different elementary schools come in, or there'll be a high school or middle school. And then in the summer, we have students from Dallas and other parts of Texas that come down to volunteer also.
Whenever you say homebound, that means they're people that they can't get out to the store.
They don't have the ability, or they don't have the support to be able to leave their home to go out to the...
That's 450 boxes a month?
Yes.
And how much food goes out in general, not just to the homebound, to everybody?
Last year, we distributed over 7.3 million pounds of food. That's a lot of food.
I can't even imagine,
And that varies all over the place, right? What kind of food are y'all able to give?
We distribute frozen products, such as different kinds of meats and items that are donated to us. We have produce that is donated to us. We have certainly lots of canned goods, and then we also have a lot of box and dry goods. So it's across whatever in that grocery store, or whoever brings it in that want to donate, that's what we use to redistribute out into the community. The food bank is really a logistics organization. We receive product, we distribute product.
Okay.
And so we're just moving product from one source to another source.
During 2017, was there more food given out due to Harvey?
We estimated probably an extra 500,000 pounds, but we're still supporting Harvey. We estimate anywhere from 500 to 700 families that are still not fully recovered from Harvey, and so they're using some of our mobile units. They're using some of the pantries that we support to support their food needs.
There was recently a spot where I saw y'all set up in Galveston at an apartment complex. There were some people who reached out to us, as well, saying like, hey, there's an apartment complex. They're without power. A lot of these people aren't able to go get food. They're just going through a hard time. And I saw that y'all were out there. That's actually, I was like, hey, have y'all reached out to the Galveston County Food Bank? They said they were here yesterday, and then y'all were again there the next day, and then the next weekend.
Yeah, we try to respond whenever we're asked to meet those kinds of needs. Certainly, I mean that's our role in Galveston County, is to lead the fight to end hunger. And whether it's a moment's notice, or if it's a week's notice, or if it's something sustainable, we'll be there to do the best of our ability.
How do people get involved? Like, let's say, for instance, they needed some product, like needed some food, needed diapers, needed stuff like that. How do they go about getting that from you, and how do they contact you?
Oh, they need to just call us at 409-945-4232 and ask to talk to myself, Richard, and I, or a volunteer coordinator. And we can get the information, and we'll process it, and then we'll get back to them and indicate how we can assist them, if we can assist them in any way.
We're going to be talking more with the food bank in the next couple of weeks. We're trying to set up a monthly
Oh, great.
coming on the show, talking about what's going on in the community, how people can get involved. I think that's huge to partner with people in the community that are doing good. And that's what KHEA Radio is about. We're about like giving back to the community. We're about volunteering, and that's what's happening today at the Leeds event.
You mentioned earlier that the idea is to end hunger, and the idea that there are people today, probably in Texas City, in Lamarck, in Galveston County, that are hungry. There are kids. Do we know any statistics on our area, like about like who is going through like a hard time, and like, because it's just, for me, you know, I'm fortunate. You know, we're blessed. You know, we have you know, jobs and are able to have transportation and aren't going through a situation right now. But that's not the case for everybody.
No, it's not. And we estimate that there are around 53,000 individuals in Galveston County that we call food insecure. In other words, they don't know where their next meal is coming from. And so that's our target group. We probably service about 25 to 26,000 a month of that, in that nature. And so we do it through mobiles. And there are fixed pantry locations. We have the homebound program. And then we have the children's program, outreach programs in the schools during the school year, and then we also have a children's program in the summer.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's great. You know, one of the things that I think would be really cool is if we just gave out more tacos. Like if people like just showed up with tacos. Do people do that? Do people show up and do like, here, I want to give away tacos?
Are you able to do cooked food?
No, we don't do any cooked food, and we don't take any food that's been prepared outside our facilities. There's a lot of health environmental issues related to that.
Yes.
Right.
So you mentioned something earlier about the summer program. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Y'all have some stuff going on in the summer. Can you explain what that is?
Sure. During the school year, the schools that have free lunch programs, we prepare a backpack for individuals that are selected to participate in our backpack program, which is supporting kids for the weekend. And then in the summertime, because there's not that intense a program in the schools, we have a kids packs program, and selected locations with selected individuals, we provide a kids packs every week or every 2 weeks for those individuals. And last summer we distributed about 80,000 meals to children in Galveston County.
Because some of the kids, the only time they're getting a decent meal is at school, in the school year, right?
Yes.
And then in the summer, the kids may not be getting the proper food and nutrients that they need. So that's why it's important y'all come in and are able to help bridge that gap.
Yeah, that's what we try to do. These are supplemental items. You know, they're not meant to last for a long time. They're there and they're kids friendly, and that's one of the things that we do need are donated items that are food kids friendly. Top pops, that type of item, something that they don't have to have preparation for, just something simple that's nourishing.
Okay.
Not candy or candy bars or those kinds of things, but something that, fruit items and
like
that type of thing.
Fruit cup or something
Fruit cups,
like that they're able to just peel themselves and eat and not prepare or warm up or cook.
You see 186 students out here. What is the food bank? What are you seeing when you see all these kids?
Well, we see an opportunity to involve students more intently in our volunteer program and to learn more about the Galveston County Food Bank. We have certainly a need for volunteers. As I mentioned, they do all of our sorting. They do all of our packaging of boxes for distribution and kids packs. So they'll play an integral part in how we support the county.
That's awesome. And there's tons of kids. I mean, we're watching them as they're moving to the different stations, food bank being one of those stations. What are you telling the kids as they come to your station?
Well, we want to give them a background of where the Galveston County Food Bank, how it started. And it started on Galveston Island in 2003, eventually moved to Texas City in 2008 after Hurricane Ike sort of damaged their building on the island. We were in a building behind the Texas City Museum. We're wanting them to see the history. It was started by a very passionate individual who was concerned about nourishment opportunities for individuals that they were food insecure. And it was gleanings from the harvest initially, and now it was in about 12 2012, somewhere in there, it changed to Galveston County Food Bank. And so they need to hear that history and see what it's all about and the number of people that we're serving. And then the second part of it is that we're showing them the items that need to be sorted and why they need to be sorted, why we can't send out just anything that comes into the organization. Anything that's from a retail store or a volunteer donation is inspected by volunteers and sorted. So we make sure that the dates of usage are correct and there's not a compression loss in the can.
Do y'all ever work with the other, like Houston Food Bank or some of the other places?
Oh yeah, we're a partner organization to the Houston Food Bank, so we are working with them all the time. And then there's a state association of food banks, and I'm on that board. And collectively we work together to be sure that the food needs are met in the county, particularly during a disaster time.
If somebody is interested in starting a food drive, maybe to get a donation, is that something that they're able to do?
Yes, I would suggest they get in touch with us, and we have a pamphlet on how to conduct a food drive, and we'll be more than happy to sit down with them and visit and instruct them on what needs to be done and see if that meets what they're looking to do.
Would you be able to walk us through the rest of this year? Are there any other, events, big events or pushes y'all are doing, or just like an awareness thing?
They need to watch our website. Okay. We'll have lots of information on our website. We use social media, particularly Facebook and Instagram. And I would say that if they want to be on our email list to get information, we're going to be having emails go out every month about what's going on at the food bank. We're going to have some direct mail pieces with more information going out regularly. And we'll be having just different events throughout the rest of the year.
Awesome. Right now it's 9:49. This is KHEA Radio.com, 99.5 FM. I noticed there's a pack of Whataburger
Waters.
Is that what you can expect? Is that from you guys at the food bank?
No, that's not from us.
It's now ours.
Yeah.
I think that's lunch for the kids.
I'll say that water, I feel like it tastes better.
Whataburger water's better than that.
What a water. What a water.
Very good
Chick-fil-A
water.
may give you a fight on
Yeah. Hey, if you're watching on social media, feel free to share this video out. If you have any questions how you can get involved, maybe you want to know how your child, your student, in the future can potentially get involved in this event. There are, I think, about 180 kids from local high schools right here in Galveston County that are being, informed, being it's like an awareness thing whenever it comes to volunteering, whenever it comes to how they can be involved in the community. Why is it so important for students to volunteer?
Well, one, I think they need to become part of the community. They need to understand the community. They need to understand that not everyone is as lucky as they are, and this is one of the approaches. On a more practical side, many of the now colleges are looking for number of hours volunteered and types of volunteer activities that students are involved in because they are interested in students giving back to the community. So I think those are the two key ingredients.
I think a lot of people, you always look at the social media. You look at celebrities, the news is showing you this and you're like, man, they have it so good. Like look at that person. They're, a 21-year-old rapper and they have everything they want, or they're an athlete. But the fact that these kids, I would say most of them are food secure. They know where their next meal is coming from. It can kind of just let you know like how good you really have it.
Right.
Compared to some people out there who don't have maybe.
Yeah, like Kanye West's daughter that I want to be like one day,
That's a quote. That's a direct quote from Curt
I said,
before.
man, I wish I could just like be born into celebrity status. You don't have to worry about the next. Somebody said actually that it was our guest yesterday was talking about how like those people are like probably the most likely not to be. They have different problems because now they're like they have issues. Like they don't have financial stability like their parents did. They don't have the work ethic.
Well, we find that the parents really want to have their child be exposed or learn about the food bank and the needs that other individuals have that they aren't privileged to. So we find parents bringing their kids in just to experience and see what happens and who needs what out in the community.
Richard, I just saw Gardy like chugging this sauce.
I sipped it.
He sipped it. Okay.
Do you like tacos?
I like tacos, but I'm not a hot sauce person. So I won't dip in that.
Even like a mild
no,
sauce?
I'll pass on that. I'm chicken.
So every time that we've been live on location, we're live on location right now in Texas City. We've had tacos.
It's been a God thing, really.
It's like
we
a
didn't
God
plan it
thing.
out. We usually didn't buy the tacos.
We don't
but
try.
Like tacos fall from heaven, like in the Bible, like manna, and I'm like, Lord, that's you? Like, thank you. This is awesome. And, for a lot of people, the food bank is that source.
Yes, it is.
Because it's like, I don't know where I'm getting my next meal. And then, the food bank is able to even deliver to people's houses.
Yes.
So that's
And
cool.
we use volunteers for that. So you can imagine what the volunteer group that's needed to distribute 450 boxes every month.
I could see some 17 and 18-year-old kids who have their license and maybe just got it and, they're excited to drive or get a new car. That would be an opportunity for them. Is that something they could do as well?
Possibly. They would go through an interview process and be trained on the steps and the procedures that are involved in that kind of distribution.
Richard, did you grow up in this area?
No, I grew up in southern Colorado.
Southern Colorado. How did you end up down here in beautiful Texas?
How I got down into Texas City, I was working for an investor-owned company in hospital management, and I was sent to Texas City in about 1978, 76, and been in and out of Texas City since that time.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And then the food bank started, you said, Galveston County Food Bank in 2003? And what time did you come on?
I came in April of 2017, so I've been here about 2 years.
What's the next big thing that you're like, this is what we need at the Galveston County Food Bank?
I just think that we need to improve our brand identification. There's many people that don't know, we're here. I certainly think that the financial sustainability is important. Food donations are important, financial donations, and we just need to be able to demonstrate to the community that we're here and that we're here supporting the community, and just whatever support that we can give, we will.
That's awesome. Is there anything else that you'd like to add? I
know I just thank you all for the opportunity to speak with you and be a part of your program. We've worked with you in the past and in the fall on a food drive, and we're just excited to be here, and we'd love to collaborate with other organizations in the community.
We're going to have to do that again.
I agree, yes. Yeah. It'd be awesome. That was Luke and Paloma from the library. They had approached us and said, hey, can you all talk about this on the radio? We said, yes. Actually, can we be involved more? Those are the things that we want to do. I think spreading awareness is something we can do as well, because sometimes you see those statistics and you're so far removed from that situation, you don't realize there are people that are struggling with hunger that could be your neighbor.
Yes.
You don't realize it. It's like and I guess that's a good thing, like for you to be so far removed from that, but it's still reality, and you just have to let people know, because there's something we can do to help.
Well, the reality really is that people will go in and out of it. When there were NASA issues and there was the closings a number of years ago at NASA, whether it be the healthcare industry or the food industry, all of a sudden we're receiving inquiries from individuals who were in much higher salary ranges and now they don't have any. Yeah. So they had food needs, they had healthcare needs, and so just because someone is going to a food bank for support doesn't mean they're in a permanent situation, maybe in a very temporary situation.
We saw a Chef's Table of Charities come in with the government shutdown and help, employees of military branches and NASA, because those are people that are hardworking people that are used to, income, and all of a sudden it was taken away.
Well, we supported the local Coast Guard. We were very active with the local Coast Guard in supporting their family needs with distribution, and
yes,
they helped them set up a pantry for their.
I know this may be a question you don't know, but like off the top of your head, do you know like how many families y'all were able to help, or like even like how much food went out specifically to those?
I think it was in the neighborhood of 70+ families that we were able to help with the Coast Guard.
Yeah, I think Chef Mary Bass said that they were serving about 190 something like that families.
Well, what was interesting about them is they opened it up, just like, hey, anybody, if you've been affected as well. And that's what's so good about the organizations and the community working together. And we've seen that even from like Lighthouse Christian Ministries over there in Bay Cliff, because we were asking, well, do y'all touch on this? They said, well, actually, we partner with these other organizations because they focus on this. If we're all serving the same thing, what good? I mean, it'll do some good.
Oh, yes.
But, working together Is that important for you guys to kind of work together with other organizations?
We collaborate all of the time. We have about 30 pantries and about 32 mobile sites, and so we're working with those local agencies, all the time. We're certainly with the school programs involved with them. We've started some between the Houston Food Bank and us. We started a program at Galveston College, and we're looking at Odyssey High School starting a program next week. So, we're out in the community, reaching out and doing what we can to support those needs.
All right. Hey, I love it. Richard, is there anything else you'd like to share?
Oh, I think you've exhausted all my knowledge at this point.
We can actually get into some other stuff. Are you into sports?
How can people get in contact with you? How can people find more information before you go?
Okay, go to our website, www.galvestoncountyfoodbank.org, and there's our website. You can call us at 409-945-4232. If you have donations, you can drop those off at 624 4th Avenue North in Texas City. We thank the community and appreciate their support.
All right. Hey, I have one more big favor for you. Do you know who Alan is from A&A?
No.
Okay, never mind. I'll
Sorry,
have to go
I can't be of help. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Alan. Hey, this is KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. It's Kickstart. Hey, we appreciate you taking the time to tune in. This is the best way you can start your morning. Every morning, we're on every weekday, Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 11. Today, we're not in studio, but we're in the Doyle Convention Center for the Leeds, Day of Service, and we're excited to be here. If you're watching on Facebook, feel free to share this out. What we're trying to do is spread some awareness. Different ways you can get involved, different ways students can get involved in the community, how they can give back. It's important to give back, and we're about to find out why is it so important to serve. We're going to be talking to A&A Machine and Fabrication. I feel like I could tell you so much about this business. How are you doing this morning, sir? Good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are y'all doing?
Pretty good. It's
to
been a
see
long
you.
time.
We saw you yesterday.
I know, yes. It's good to see y'all.
Kurt, did you bring the drone? Are we going to fly the drone?
Oh, we could in this empty space. Man,
that would be awesome.
There is a B-roll?
There is a way for us to connect the drone to the Sling Studio. We just haven't done it yet. How cool would that be, like flying the drone and then all of a sudden we cut to it in the live
I know.
video?
We should have thought about maybe getting like a big group picture outside with the drone next time.
Next time we do a serve event.
Next time.
Next
do
time.
it.
So why is A&A here?
Well, of course, A&A's here. I'm on the Education Foundation, and this is one of the programs that we put on, the Leeds event. Of course, it's sponsored by Texas First Bank. Mr. Doyle started this, I believe, 10 years ago, commits $10,000 a year for the events. And so he just pledged another 10 years, I believe. Wow. And so we're, of course, thankful for his support. A&A is here because we also believe in giving back to the community and participating, and I love education and helping young people. So,
where did you go to school? I see you got the big ring on.
Well, I went to high school in Lamarck, so
Okay.
I'm a Lamarck grad, 1980, and then I went to Texas A&M, and so I'm an Aggie.
Is that
And,
what that ring is
yes,
for the Aggie?
That's an Aggie ring. Yep.
That's a
And,
real ring, Kurt.
Yeah, you actually do a whole ceremony when you're a junior. You get your ring, right?
Oh, yes. They have the ring day. It's a big ceremony. Your parents come up, and then
It's cool. I've seen some of
Yes.
people get really excited about that. Like, it's probably more important. Ring day is more important than graduation day.
Really?
it's a big deal. It is.
So
It is.
education is really important to you and A&A, I would say.
Yes. Talking about giving back and
Sure.
service, yeah. I mean, so that really was an idea that our founders promoted, and I kind of, and just continuing it at A&A is that when you're part of a community, you should give back to that community and be, a part of the city and recognizable and. Yeah, so we're thankful for the opportunity to serve.
It's 10:01. This is KHEARadio.com, 99.5 FM. This is Kickstart. We have about an hour left. We're going to be on till 11. We're talking to Alan from A&A Machine and Fabrication. Y'all are located in Lamarck. How long have y'all been there?
We have been in Lamarck since 1957.
Wow.
That's a long time.
I remember 1957.
Hey, those were some good days.
You know, I was thinking like it's been 13 years since I've graduated high school.
Is that right?
12 years. 12 years. That's nuts to think about. Like,
He wasn't a math scholar.
I was not. I was like 2000. It's been 12 years since I graduated high school. Come May. I mean, that's nuts to think about. That 1957. It's like almost 60 years. Over 60 years, right?
60 years and all the changes that have gone on, but one thing that hasn't changed is A&A's always we supported the Lamarck Cougars Booster Club. You know, we used to have a baseball team, the Lamarck A&A Giants.
That's cool.
And Little League team. So we always believe in giving back. I think today's event, thank y'all for coming and supporting it and, being live here because we're teaching our kids about service.
What are you doing over here? Like, what are you teaching them over here?
So at the A&A table, which we sponsored, we are stuffing bags with like cookies and crackers to give to the first responders, police, firemen, and we're also going to give some to some veteran organization.
So they're actually volunteering right now, and it looks like some of them are writing. Are they writing notes?
Yes, they're going to write thank you notes for the first responders for, hey, being the first ones to go into a dangerous situation. We're grateful for our first responders.
You know, you told us yesterday you have about 90 employees. You have a couple more that are contracted. You're one of the largest private businesses in Lamarck. What do you look at their volunteerism and kind of what they do in high school when they come and work for you when you're hiring?
Well, I mean, that's certainly something we look at on their resume or, along with their work history. We like people that buy into that, that want to be not just come to work, but also, there's two of my employees here today helping with this event. So we give them opportunities to serve.
It's got to be a great day. Like, you're like, hey, what are you doing today? Well, I'm working. I'm helping these kids, like, stuff bags. Like, this is awesome.
Yeah,
like, that's kind of work for me, right?
Oh, yeah. So whenever we went to the high school over there, they're the Tigers. It's one of the Clear Lake schools, right? Yeah. They had us write notes for Bay Area Alliance for Youth and Families, where it was like encouraging notes, just trying to be positive into these kids' lives. And that's what I'm reminded of. But now it's the other way around. Students doing it for first responders.
Somebody else, yeah.
So that's pretty cool to see. These kids are actually here at this event to learn about volunteering, and then they can actually put it into use, like, right now.
Yes.
Well, you think about, like, the situation that happened last week with Deer Park. You had first responders on scene all day fighting flames.
Yes.
Like, sometimes you need, like, we talked to Galveston County Food Bank. They're not food insecure, but they're working and doing stuff for our lives, and it's nice to kind of say thank you.
Yes. And the other thing that's neat about today is all of the organizations are handing out information to hopefully get some students to come volunteer on a different day, a different time. 1 month, 3 months, 6 months from now, they can go volunteer at. All of these are pretty much in Galveston County.
Wow. So we had no idea you were going to be here, and it was really cool to have you here. But did you know we were going to be here? Did somebody tell you, like, through the
Well, last night it clicked because one of our committee members, Jennifer Faircloth, I think kind of helped get y'all here.
Yeah.
And I was like, last night I was like, she said it's KHEA. that's Gardy and Curt. They were at A&A yesterday. So.
Yeah. So we got a video that's going to be dropping, a Shine on Lamarck, where we go focus on different businesses in Lamarck that are shining stars and examples in the city. That's what I've been told. At least by the mayor, Bobby Hawking, and we love Mayor Hawking. But, yeah, that's going to drop on Monday on A&A Machine and Fabrication.
So cool. What is A&A? For our people who are just tuning in who may have not ever heard of A&A, what is it? What do you guys do?
So A&A is a complete manufacturing and repair facility for petrochemical equipment. We make steel products, shafts, pump parts, pressure vessels, piping, structural steel. And we have a really specialty market that we service, petrochemical, the plastic industry.
And it's one of like 3 in the community, right?
Well, there's a specialty product we make that's actually only 3 companies in the world make that high pressure tubing that we make. So very specialty products, and 62 years, we're grateful for our customer base that keeps coming back, and you take care of them, and they'll keep coming back to you.
Yeah, and whenever you get a product that's manufactured in the USA,
yeah,
it's good. But not only is it just
cool.
the United States, they take it to Texas. Then it's at Lamarck, Texas. We need a stamp. It's like proudly made in like USA, and it's like yes, and then like Texas, yes, and it's like Lamarck, Texas.
Well, we do have either stickers or sometimes we'll weld a plate on that has A&A, and of course it's always got Lamarck, Texas on it.
That's cool that these products are going all over the world.
Yeah.
Y'all literally ship, these places
Yes.
everywhere, right? Because
China, Saudi Arabia, India, South Korea.
that's
Japan,
how we get our money back from China.
That's
I
right.
will,
That's what
I will
We're
say-
helping. We're helping reduce the trade
Right.
deficit as much as we can.
Yeah, thank you.
One of the things that I moved here, 3-4 years ago now, right, to Lamarck, Texas, and I never heard of Lamarck before, but we talked to Harold Jackson, who owns Heavenly Bodies, which is in downtown Lamarck, and he was like, God said you will go to Lamarck, Texas, like in a dream. Like he's like, I've never heard of Lamarck, Texas before. What's Lamarck?
Yeah, he also said like it would be known as the great city of Lamarck. Once again, this was like a vision and a dream he had. So he's like, I'm gonna go.
And so it's like
I didn't
crazy
know
that you have that happen, and then you're putting that stamp of approval down on like, hey, this is Lamarck. And I'm sure there's people in China, people who are all across the world who's like, what's Lamarck, Texas, and looking it up. And I think that's really cool.
Right. Well, and I will plug Mayor Hawking and Colleen and Alex again, and thank KHEA for what y'all are doing, because you have to promote yourself. The city of Lamarck is like a business, right? You need to promote yourself. You need to tout the benefits of coming to Lamarck and living, and I think great things are ahead for our city.
Are you looking at all these students and being like, future employer, future, I'm going to hire them?
Well,
Entrepreneur, banker,
yes,
doctor, lawyer.
We certainly look for kids like this, the kind of the cream of the crop, so to speak, and look for kids young people that want to serve. We're also involved with the Industrial Trade Center in Texas City, so they're training kids in the crafts, machining, welding, building construction, and we will be hiring some of those kids.
Is it important for people to volunteer, and is it important for young people to volunteer?
Yes, it is, because it's almost like something you need to learn, and it's like a good habit to develop of service, giving back, and so you start young. You need to start young with young people.
I'm going to say, I think it is something you 100% have to learn, because I have a daughter. She's 2.
Right.
And at that age, she's like, hey, it's mine. Can you share
Mine.
with your brother? Can you do something nice? And so that's a concept that you have to teach.
Absolutely, yes.
Because people, it's tough to say, but like, are we born like, hey, you're thinking about yourself all the time?
Yes.
And so you have to kind of switch that concept and be like, hey, no, it's a community. We need to look out for each other.
Yeah, and part of raising kids is because when they're little, they do depend on you for everything, and they're pretty self-centered.
Yeah.
But as they grow up, you have to transition them to think about outside themselves, and that's part of becoming an adult, I think.
And then some people just don't ever. Not
What?
you. I just said it right
What?
there. This is KHEA Radio
wow.
99.5. It's 10:11. If you're watching on social media, feel free to share this stream out. Let us know if you have any questions. You want to know how you can get involved. If you want to volunteer, you have a student that wants to volunteer. There's plenty of opportunities. We can get you going in the right direction.
Alan, we're talking to Alan of A&A in Lamarck. I have 2 questions. The first one we'll get to first is when you were young, you had mentioned that you would help out at A&A. You would work in there. You knew all the people who were there. Your parents were heavily involved. But were you walking around, like, helping, volunteering, doing some of this stuff as well?
Well, when I was younger, my parents, we served at church, right? They served at our church, and so did we as kids. We would help prepare meals for the shut-ins and things like that, in our church. So that's where I really learned to serve was through the church. And then, of course, when I got into school, high school, then we had opportunities to serve. But yeah, I think by giving back, you just expand your territory, so to speak, and it allows you to meet more people and experience more things, and so, that's part of serving, I think.
I volunteered in church growing up. Kurt, you probably did too, but I know you were focusing on Boy Scouts growing up and how that was a great opportunity for you to do all kinds of stuff in the community.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, there's tons of organizations that you can partner with as a young kid or as a parent who's looking to get their kids involved. Plenty in our own community to do so as well. The second question, and this was one that we picked up yesterday about A&A that I thought was just kind of funny and blew my mind a little bit. What does A&A stand for?
Well, the owners did name it that to be first in the phone book when they were phone books. Some of your younger listeners may not know what those are.
I have a question. If somebody just named it A, if their business was like A, would they be first? Or if someone was like A and A, or like, would you be?
I think you would just have to be A.
But then they take the second, like, it'd be machine, because in the phone book they don't classify A. So you have to do A and A.
Right.
Yeah.
But we did work for the chemical plants, and they needed somebody to respond anytime, day or night, to their needs. And so engineers said that must stand for always available. And the owner said that's exactly what it stands for. And
Correct,
we
actually.
held on to that motto.
We are KHEA, right?
KHEA.
That's what the FCC gave us, right? It's our call letters, right? So
Yes.
like you have KHOU, which stands for they got lucky and got Houston a little bit,
Right.
but like we don't know what KHEA stands for yet. So maybe somebody will come to us and be like, "This is what KHEA stands for," and we're like, "Yeah," and then forever we're known as that.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
If we could make it kind of go into tacos, like if we were like KTAC, that would be like perfect.
K-taco.
It's like we're the taco, but it won't work.
Gardy's got his mind
on
on tacos for like months now.
months.
Yes.
My whole
Years.
life. I've been eating tacos my whole life. What are you talking about? You haven't.
No, I didn't eat tacos until I came to Texas.
He's
My
from
tacos.
Nebraska.
So we have this group. It's called Talk of Taco, where people post pictures of tacos. Did we talk about this at all yesterday?
No.
Man, so we started this Talk of Taco group, back in like January, and it already has like 600 people. Anytime you see a taco, you take a picture of it, put it in the group. Taco memes, taco restaurants,
Yes.
like where's the best taco? That's our goal, right? And so we've now been on location 5 or 6 times, and every time that we've gone live, we've ended up having somebody bring us tacos. And it happened again today. Chef Mary Bass brought us tacos.
Oh.
And so we're on the way to find the best tacos
So
in the
it
world.
could be hard shell or soft shell?
Any kind
Or
of
soft
taco.
I
Okay,
posted
any
the other
kind of
night a
dessert
picture
taco,
of a hot dog wrapped inside of a tortilla shell with American cheese. I posted that. Ooh. Taco.
Taco.
Yeah, that's it. Go check it out. If you're not a member of that yet, make sure you go search it. This is 99.5 FM, KHEAradio.com. This is Kickstart. We're going to be on till 11 a.m. I see Susan. She had mentioned that I think she said whenever her kids were in school that they were a part of the Leads program and stuff that they have going on here. So it's been going on for a little bit.
Is this your first year working with the Leads program, or have you done this in the past?
No, yes. A&A's probably done this for maybe 6 years out of the 10 or 11 they've been doing it. So,
And you mentioned they just signed on to do another 10 years.
yes, Texas First Bank did to
How
support.
much does it cost a year for them to do that?
Well, they have a budget of $5,000 each leads. There's one in the spring and one in the fall.
Okay, so 10 a year.
So 10 a year. They don't always use that, but Mr. Doyle doesn't take it. The bank doesn't take it back. Like so, in the fall, we have some extra money. We hope to hire a speaker, maybe a keynote speaker that can really grab the kids' attention. You know.
That may be me. That may be me.
That could be Gardy. I don't.
Or Curt.
Hey,
I mean, we could whoever sits up straightest.
Sometimes it'd be like that, right?
I think you guys would both be great because the kids want somebody that's energetic and passionate about what they're doing, and you guys are. So
we have the toys.
Yeah,
we have the toys.
Camera.
We can film it ourselves, turn it around selfie style.
And the kids love the toys, right? I mean, they'll
cameras,
connect.
technology,
yeah, the drone. I mean,
Oh,
so
I could teach them to fly. I feel like okay. You know what? We've thought about it. We'll accept.
We'll do it. We'll do it. So, what else is going on today? Because is this an all-day event? I know there's going to be some more speakers as well.
Yeah, it goes till 2 p.m. There's going to be lunch. The kids are going to have Chick-fil-A. They like that. And then there'll be a couple of more speakers. And then they will, Miss Doyle will come. She's Charles Doyle's wife, Chuck Doyle's wife. And she'll speak a little bit. And they'll award 2 or 3 scholarships. $1,000 scholarships.
They're going to do those today.
Yeah, they'll do those. Yeah.
Yeah, they said that there's 100 students that are going to be put in like a basket, and they're going to draw their name out.
That have done all 4 years, or all 2 years of the events a year, whatever.
Yes, because they need to be a graduating senior to get the $1,000.
And they'll be able to use that towards like books or college or any expense.
Any college expense, yes. Technical school, they can use it.
Yeah.
They go there. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Have you heard any stories from any kids who have been a part of this event and then maybe they are able to go on or go to a tech school? We were talking to someone earlier and they said, you know what, we're trying to do a better job or figure out a way to track those because I'm sure there are a ton of people who have been impacted.
Yes, and you do kind of lose track of them after they leave high school. I'm sure the teachers and some of the staff keep up with, but they have had a couple of students come back and speak about how leads impacted them and how they went on to serve.
Wow. You know, Susan, who is a retired teacher at Santa Fe, she said I would come speak because she probably set up a table because she has a nonprofit as well.
Okay.
Cookies for a Cause.
Cookies for a Cause. And so,
cool.
Yeah, so she bakes these cookies and then she sells them and then, gives them to these different organizations that help out with people that are going through things in their body.
We met her through Legacy Collision. She made Legacy Collision cookies. Maybe she can make some A&A ones as well.
Ooh.
That'd be awesome.
Hey,
That'd be awesome.
And if you look for somebody to eat those, look no further.
Well, we could have y'all over.
Really good at eating Susan's cookies.
You know, there's some employees at A&A that have tried to talk me into putting an oven in so that we can cook cookies at A&A.
You could get one of those little, I don't know if they call it a convention or like one of the little ones that go on
the conventional. You could get them an Easy Bake.
They have an
the
Easy Bake
toy
oven.
One.
They also have like an Otis Spunkmeyer specific oven for the Otis Spunkmeyer cookie. Is just put that on the counter and you're good to go. Or you just get Susan to come and make them and deliver.
You know, I was thinking, you know how we can do this where we're live on location in Texas City? Can you imagine us in your manufacturing shop, safety goggles, all that stuff in the background, doing our live show?
Welding and grinding going on.
Oh, man. Let's do it.
He was putting his camera
That'd be cool.
in the sparks. And they were like,
oh, yeah. I can't wait to see that.
Oh, that video is going to look
He
awesome.
was talking. We didn't even know that you were going to be here, but we were already talking about it. He's like, do you remember how A&A, like, they said it stands for always available? And then he was like, man, dreaming about that video. He's like, it's going to look so good. With
Y'all
the
came at, I mean, we hit that at just the right time, you know.
Yeah. How often does he have that going?
Well, I mean, it just depends on what kind of work we have, but that was pretty cool.
Oh, man, that video is going to look nuts. I can't wait. I
Now,
was like, this is probably going to be the easiest shine on the mark that I've ever had to edit.
Now, I love talking to you guys, and I don't want to tell you who to talk to next, but I would like you to maybe talk to Chris DeLisandri with United Way. He's going to be one of the speakers.
He's right there. I see
he
him.
is. Yeah, would y'all like to
Oh,
have
yeah.
him over?
Ask him if
Okay.
he'd like to come
Hey,
over.
thanks, guys.
Thank you
Good
so much,
talking to
Alan.
y'all again. Okay.
Appreciate you.
Have a good day.
All right, this
Thanks,
is
Alan.
KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. It's 1021. We're going to try and sneak Chris with the United Way over here. We just met with him the other day. We're going to be at the firefighter games.
I
There's
didn't
going to be a parade. He's like, nah, there's going to be a parade. And
You hear him yelling? He's like, those guys, we don't want to talk to him.
you know, that's funny because we went to a meeting the other day in Texas City, and it was like they were fighting who to force on the radio with us. And Chris was like, you know what?
Chris is like, I've already been
came
there.
on
I don't need
there.
to be there again.
Hey, good
and you
morning.
know what? You're stuck with us again.
We got y'all. Good morning. How's it
Live
going?
Morning. How you
location.
guys doing?
We're doing
Man,
pretty good.
Doing fantastic.
It is a great program.
This is awesome.
Oh, man.
This is our first time to be involved and learn about this event. Is this something that you've been involved in? Because it's been going on for a little bit now.
Well, it's been going on for a little bit, but I believe this is the first time that they put something this multitude together to bring all the different agencies in and so forth. So yeah, it's really my first time. I'm on at 12:50 to talk to the kids, but that's the reason I came over here, just to make sure what's going on, so I can really add some other things for the kids to take away.
So you're speaking. What are you speaking about? Do you have your speech ready to go?
No, I always fly by the seat of my pants anyway, but.
It's perfect for here.
That's what we do too.
My part is to talk about giving. And most people think about giving as how much cash they can give. There's a lot more to giving than cash. You know, my dad told me many, many years ago when I was a kid, when you give back to the community, there may be a time that you can't write a check. But I guarantee you got time and a talent. If you devote that time and talent, it's the same way as giving money.
You know, we've talked about that too for us when we go and shoot videos, or like if we're doing an event like today. We're out here, we're not getting paid to do this. You know, like this is part of us giving back, raising awareness about what's going on in the community. So there's, you know, cooking or shooting video, taking pictures. Those are all ways that you can give that doesn't necessarily require money, just your time.
Yeah, sometimes your time is more valuable than money. You can do more with your time than if you gave a donation.
Here's what, if you remember, one of the things that we have to do as we report to United Way Worldwide is that we show so many volunteer hours that are given. Mm-hmm. A volunteer hour is worth $21 an hour. That people don't realize that. So when you go somewhere and help someone for an hour, that's the same thing as giving them $21. And people don't realize that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I've never thought of it that way before.
Yeah. And so, you know, I in my job, I have to raise $2.5 million every year. I mean, I got to have that cash. But there's a lot of things that people do to help me that are not actually giving me the cash, but they provide some other avenues that brings the cash in.
So what are those avenues? Like, how do you raise that much money? Because, you know, for us thinking, that's a lot of money to raise.
Well, here's what my philosophy has always been. You can't go ask anyone to give you anything if you're not giving, okay? So what I do a lot of times where I can't write that check, but because of my cooking abilities and the stuff that I won in all those years, I can donate a dinner to somebody on a live auction and might raise $1,500, $2,000. So for me, as I'm talking to people that give to United Way, a lot of people give to us because they see what I'm also doing. He's just not asking for money; he gives too.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's a key component of that's what I hope to instill in these youngsters in 10 minutes that I have time to talk to them today. Is that's kind of what I want to get over to them, what they need to do. And you know, we've talked several times that people now are seeing truly what United Way is really doing. You know, we're teaching people how to get out of service. We're teaching people how to get a job so they can be self-sufficient and be a major component of our community. You know, that's what we're doing now, and people are seeing. We're not just going out there raising money. We're making sure that money's doing exactly what it's supposed to do.
Why is it so important for these young people to volunteer and learn this at a young age?
Because it gives them a total perspective as they get older. You know, they've seen the movie Pay It Forward. They know about paying forward, and that's exactly what it is that they're doing.
What a great movie, by the way. It starred the kid from Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
That was a great movie.
It was a great movie.
Way ahead of his time. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what and kind of the things that kids don't realize. They can give today by just saying, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, no, sir, no, ma'am. Because what you're doing there, you're giving respect.
wow.
That's one of the things I want to instill in them also, how important that is to do that instead of saying, yeah, huh.
Okay. I do that.
Okay,
I know
good.
he does that to me. I'm like, Kurt, can you please just, whenever you talk to me, just say yes, sir. Sometimes
Wow.
just say no, sir, and like, I'm good. But that's true, and I try and do that with my kids, and I feel like sometimes it's a struggle, but I have to start at the young age, 2 and 6 year old. So that way, whenever they go to school and, they go to college one day, I want them to be able to show that respect, to give respect to anybody, their teachers, elders, anybody really.
Right, really. And one of the things I did when I had my business many years ago, I had it where someone in the Bio Vista could come up in my business and a kid could come up and get a penny piece of bubble gum. And they put a penny on the counter, they get their piece of bubble gum, and I say, thank you, sir, thank you, ma'am. My kids told me, what are you telling a 5-year-old, sir? I said, because they earned it. They put the money on the counter.
Also, you give respect, you give for the most part. That's what my son goes to martial arts, and that whenever you say that, thank you, sir, thank you, ma'am, they teach there every day. They have a creed, and there's different things that I'm trying to put him in to where he can learn that, and then different opportunities where he can give back, like at church. Mary Bass, me and Mary Bass, we grew up in church and school together, and that's where we kind of learned that volunteering. Where did you get that instilled into you at a young age?
Well, I had that started when I was 9 years old, strictly because my folks owned a fishing camp business. So at a young age, I was helping my parents make a living in an indirect way and waiting on customers and serving customers. It was always yes, sir, yes, ma'am, no, sir, whatever, because that customer was there providing financial stability for my parents. They deserved that type of treatment.
We met you guys. We went over to your to the United Way.
To your building.
To your building last Tuesday, Monday.
Yeah.
Monday. On Monday we were there talking about the firefighter games, talking about things that KHEA can help promote the United Way. Can you tell us what the United Way is and why it's important to have that in our community?
I think it's primarily listen to our mission. Our mission is to fight for health, education, and financial stability for every person in our communities. That's our mission statement. And so we got to do that. We got to do different things by providing training to help people get a job for their financial stability part, And so, and then we while we're here today with our kids in our school, is to help our school systems with the education, so we're part of the education process, and it's a multitude of things, and you see it, Food Bank, Independence Village, they're all United Way agencies that we help support for them to do what they do. Wow. And part of what they do is fulfilling our mission.
And you connect with different organizations throughout the community as well, right?
Yes.
How many organizations do you guys connect with?
Ooh, Lord, I just had an hour-and-a-half meeting this morning because I'm also on the board of Resilience Center in Santa Fe. And so this morning I spent an hour and a half with someone as we're trying to strategize, what we're going to do with the Resilience Center. Mm-hmm. So, I do that. I'm in Rotary. You name it, I'm involved in primarily most every major fundraiser that's done in this part of the area. I'm involved in some type of way.
On Monday when we went to that meeting, I was tucking up a little bit. I'll have to admit.
With the shirt on?
I had the T-shirt on. I woke up that morning, I saw it sitting in my closet. I was like, I'm going to wear this today. I know we had that meeting today. I'm going to rep that shirt on the radio station. And then I'm going to show up at that meeting, and they're going to be like, he really cares about the United Way, which I do. I really do. Honestly, deep down.
It's okay. You did a good job.
Okay, good. He noticed it right away. First thing Chris says to me, he goes, wow, suck up.
Yeah, one of the things also is that, speaking of the shirts, every one of our, especially our industrial partners that we have here in Texas City, all of them have a predominant color for their company. Okay? So if I go to make a presentation, for an example, in Dow, I wear a red shirt. That's their prominent color. Because I ask people, where's your red shirt? Same thing, you go to Marathon, it's blue. You go to Valero, it's green.
Wow, yeah.
But the only thing it is showing respect for that organization because that's their color.
Huh. So you're kind of giving back in that with that small little gesture. It doesn't have to be anything huge. Like bringing tacos to a radio station in the morning when they're doing a live show on location. It's giving back, right?
Right. To the T.
To the T.
I love it. Can you share a little bit about the firefighter games? Like, what's planned?
The firefighter games, I think this is our 5th year, I think. And it all started when Chief Zackel, our fire chief here in Texas City, with all the fire departments, we have the thing here in Texas City that in case there's an emergency, everybody responds. And a lot of people talk to a lot of people on the telephone, but they don't talk to that person to person. So Chief Zackel's deal was to come up with the firemen's games, to put something on 6th Street where we can invite people to come to 6th Street and put something on, but apparently the primary reason is to bring all the fire departments together in friendly competition.
Because they may need to work together.
They work together.
Yeah.
So now not only are they working together, they're competing with one another, and by competing with one another, they get to know one another. It's friendly competition, and now it's turned in people practice all year for the firemen's games. So we got the firemen's games. We have a cook-off. We have live music on Friday night, so there's a lot of stuff going on.
Can you share about the cook-off?
Yeah, you ready to judge again?
Ooh, yes. The answer is yes.
The answer was yes, like last year.
That was our first opportunity. We had a blast.
I've been keeping my palate clean. I haven't eaten fajitas all year. I'm keeping it clean. So when I eat the fajitas, there's no competition or judgment from other places.
Clean palate.
Clean palate.
Okay, cool.
What kind of I guess categories you have in? Is it fajitas and brisket?
One of the things we want to do, because a lot of the guys, they put to be in a cook-off, you spend some money, right? So what we do for the fajitas and chicken on Friday night, it's a jackpot, and everybody puts a $50 entry fee up. I give all that money back out. The winner gets 50%, second place gets 30%, third place gets 20%. So I give 100% of that money back out, so hopefully the ones that really do good can recoup some of the money.
Kurt, you entering?
I'm entering.
I got like veggie fajitas in the skillet, though.
Oh,
but they are good.
Are the best. I want to know, can we change and add a taco cook-off?
Fajita taco. Just bring your own tortillas.
Right, yeah, because I feel like I could enter my hot dog with American cheese.
I'm gonna say
inside of a tortilla and win that taco.
Can you imagine? Like I'm picturing us in that judging room. If we brought our own tortillas and we're judging fajitas and we started making tacos, the other judges would be like,
"What are
you
they
can't
doing?"
do that." I'd be like, "Shh, no talking." This is how I judge. Okay, just let me judge. You do you.
No, and the thing about it is time constraints, and what we're trying to do, like for the everybody that in the cook-off has to participate in Saturday's event, and that's where they do brisket, ribs, and chicken again. Okay, and then we have judging for chicken at 10 o'clock. We have judging for ribs at 12 o'clock, and then we have brisket at 2 o'clock. So we're out of there by 3 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a 2-day event, so it's getting everything done.
So there's a parade, I think.
Parade at 9 o'clock. There's probably $50 million worth of equipment in that parade.
Kurt alone. Kurt's in the parade. That's about $49 million.
$49 million
of
right
knowledge.
here on his face. His face, the moneymaker.
It's an insurance policy.
We were talking about. Did we start the show with this, or we were off air?
I don't know.
We were like, we're going to be in that parade. Were we kind of like voluntold that we had to be in that parade? We were like kind of like playing back the conversation, like. Oh, man.
I don't know, but you agreed, so that's all that counts.
That's true. Oh, man.
That's true.
Voluntold
we are going to be in the parade.
I think we're going to be on a truck bed, maybe like running through the parade, doing our morning show, doing like a special morning show.
If we have internet, we can do it.
Go live from anywhere.
We're on the back of a
Well,
truck.
you know that, and the other thing that a lot of people get a lot of kick out of is that we have that antique fire truck show. We'll have a fire truck there that was providing services in 1947 when they had the hurricane. When they had the explosion. So they're going to be there. We got people from Alabama. We got people from different states are bringing their antique trucks in. So coming in, especially bringing the kids to be able to see these antique trucks and what it used to be 30 and 40 years ago.
That's cool. That's a little bit of history there.
Yeah, there's a lot of history right there.
So everybody's invited, the firefighter games, right?
And especially the kids. We're going to have bouncy houses. We got different things set up for the kids. It's a family event for people to come out and enjoy.
So what other events are y'all taking place and are putting on, throughout the rest of this year?
Well, we're involved in several. One is coming up April the 17th and 18th, because Marathon for years was Amoco BP, now Marathon. And we've got a big golf tournament that's coming up that Marathon is putting on for United Way. And so this is a big event. And then we got the firefighters games that we were talking about. And then in August, a Marathon comes through again, and we have a big fishing tournament that's put on to help raise the different funds for United Way. And then we have our fun run coming on, which y'all already know about. You would volunteer to be there for that.
Voluntold.
You see, like fun and run. I know they rhyme, but
Somebody. Did you see
don't
that
know.
meme? I saw a meme yesterday that said, people who run marathons, you don't have to do it, right? Don't forcing you to run like that.
I guess some people have fun
Yeah.
when they
do.
run.
And
Fun and run
we
don't mix.
appreciate everything you guys to try to help us along and get the word out. You don't know how much we really appreciate it.
We love helping the United Way. We love giving back to the community. You have to give us a contact at Marathon and all these plants. Apparently, you have all the connections.
We'll wear whatever color shirt we need to.
We'll show. Yeah, well, I showed up with my Live United red shirt. Just give me a blue one, and I'll go to Marathon, and we'll do the show live there.
Yeah. So United Way, this is so y'all report to. You said like a world.
I report to a board.
And then you focus on what area?
I have everything on the mainland of Galveston County. Everything north of the causeway, all the way to the Harris County line, all the way to the Brazoria County line, and all the way to the Bay. I represent 13 cities and 6 school districts.
And y'all are able to work with numerous, nonprofit organizations, making sure y'all distribute appropriately, right? I remember y'all even saying y'all had to, someone could submit to receive from you guys, but y'all need to see everything.
We got to see everything. My job is I have to account for every dollar. So every dollar is going out to support agencies and programs, and I have to account for that money. So I'm a watchdog for that money with these agencies. They do a great job, they really do. But I check it all the time to make sure that money's being spent the way it's supposed to be spent.
Sweet. I was going to ask some more questions about the LEADS program that's going on today. You take a look out here behind us, and all of these students, there's 186 of them in total that are here today, are here learning about volunteering in the community. What do you, when you look out and you see what they're doing, some of them are writing notes to first responders. Some of them are, learning about the Galveston County Food Bank. What do you see when you look out here?
Well, here's what I see. In July the 9th in 2013, we formed our first United Way Club, high school United Way Club. I had guys tell me all the time, why do you want to hit these kids can't give you any money? I said, I don't want them to give me any money. What I want them to do is learn what's really in the community. So if I can get these kids 4 years, it's the same things these LEADS kids are doing. Some of my United Way clubs are here, Interact clubs are here. There's a bunch of the different organizations in the school. They are here participating in the LEADS program. So what you need to do is if we can get these youngsters at an early age to understand what volunteering, because volunteering is a dying breed in our country. Because everybody's time, they don't have the time, they don't have the time, they don't have the time. You can give an hour a month with no sweat. I don't care who you are. You can do that. So what's trying to happen with these kids is to understand truly what these agencies are doing. You hear about the food bank. Do you really know what the food bank does? Oh, they give out food. what's all involved in giving out that food. That's what they're learning today. That's what they learn at Independence Village, what Judy does with her residents that have that mental or physically disability. You know, they're doing things with them to help them to get a part-time job and to do that. These youngsters need to see what's really going on and what's being provided for in this community. This is a good way of doing it.
Awesome. Is there anything else that you'd like to add about the event, about the United Way, anything that we're missing?
No, I think we've covered it
We've talked a lot.
It's a lot and covered it well. And what I encourage anybody that wants to know is they always go to our website, UWGCM. We have everything on there. Anybody who has a question, they need to call me. They got a question, they got a concern, they need to call me. If they'll call me, I'll do everything I possibly can to communicate what they need to know.
And Jude Carricker's over there, right? You know who that is, right?
She's with
Independence Village, right?
Yeah.
Carricker, yes.
Do you want to go ask her if she wants to come over here for us?
Sure.
Awesome.
Thank y'all. Appreciate you guys again.
We'll add you as a special intern of KHEA.
This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. It's Kickstart. We're going to be on till 11. We have about 18 minutes left, and I have about 18 more minutes to finish this breakfast taco. Let us know if you're watching on social media. Where are you watching from? Have you shared this video out yet? Let us know if you're looking for a way to get involved, to volunteer in the community. Maybe you have some students who are wanting to learn how to volunteer in the community. We can get them plugged in the right direction. We're at the Leads program. It's Serve Day, so there's a ton of kids here. They're learning about different ways how they can get involved. Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing? How you doing?
Morning.
Hi. My name is Gardy. We're with KHEA Radio.
Yes.
You're Judy.
I am.
And can you share a little bit about what your involvement is today?
Absolutely. Judy Slocum with the Independence Village, and we are in Texas City on Highway 3 right behind Mainland Medical Center. And our nonprofit is an assisted living facility to assist residents who have special needs and need a little extra time or support in order to be as independent as possible. And they are no different than anybody else. They just want to have a good life, an independent lifestyle where they can be free to live their lives. Some of them work and some of them volunteer. We had a young man who went to College of the Mainland, got his certification, was able to be emancipated from the state and be able to move out on his own, get his own apartment, even adopted his own puppy. I mean, it just doesn't get a lot better than that. But not everyone's going to do that, but it's always good when we can know that we've made a difference. I have a resident who I heard some noise in the back hallway of my village, and I opened the door, and one of the residents said, "Miss Judy, guess what I got to do today?" I said, "What?" She said, "I got to do my own laundry." And for me, that brought tears to my eyes because I don't like laundry, to be quite frankly honest about it. But she thought that was the neatest thing to be independent she could do, is to be able to do her own laundry. So, everybody has their own needs, and we provide oversight for them. But our mission is that we help them find their voice, VOICE, and that stands for Valiantly Overcoming Individual Challenges Every Day. And that's our goal. If we can help them find their voice, we have met our mission. So,
with all the students here today, there's opportunities for people of all ages to come and volunteer with you?
Yes. We welcome volunteers at all ages. 17 and up is ideal, and I like to be there when they come, just in case there are any questions that might come up. But we're fully staffed. We have staff who are there 24/7. We have games that we do with the residents. We have we go bowling. We go to the Galveston County Fair and Rodeo, for instance. So we have a lot of outings. Right? Yeah,
are y'all gonna be going this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, sir. It's on our calendar, and they are excited about going and being a part of their neighbors. They know a lot of the people who are involved. The not trail riders, but the barrel racers. They know them by first name, so it's really a fun place for them to go and engage with the community and be recognized for who they are. And so we really appreciate the opportunity for volunteers to come and be a part of us.
I was going to say, Judy, you were one of the places that when we did for Abundant Life Christian Center,
yes,
as we went and actually did played bingo and
yes,
stuff with the residents that were there. That was just one of the volunteers. Do you have that happen a lot?
We do. We have a lot of groups who come, and I try to do my calendar a month ahead for the next month, just so people can call, and if they're part of a sorority or a church group or a service organization, Lions Club, Amico, ACU, lots of those kinds of organizations know us and come on purpose. With a purpose, and that is to just engage with them and to just love on them and have a good time. And that's dominoes, checkers, Jenga, Connect Four, all of those things.
How long has your facility been there?
Oh, that's a great question. We have actually been the group that started in 1982. There was a lady whose son had fallen from a tree and incurred a brain injury. And as he got older, she got worried about what would happen to him if she weren't available. And so she put an ad in the paper. And from there were 16 people who showed up. And that group started a corporation that was called HRA, Helping Residents Achieve, and we changed that name to Independence Village some years ago when I was on the board of directors, because we wanted it to a little more accurately reflect what we do. But that was in 1982 they got started, and they opened the doors in 1992. So we've been open since 1992 here in the community, serving our population of special people.
So the name of the business, or the name of the facility, Independence Village, but then I also noticed whenever you were talking, you used a bit like our village, like referring to it as a village.
Yes.
Can you expand, I guess, on what that means?
Sure. Well, actually, the concept of it takes a village to raise people is accurate. I mean, it's their home. We just get to work there. And I borrowed that from some politician that I know, but she said it was okay to share. But it is their home, and we do just get to work there. And it's just a blessing for us to walk in the door and be able to love on them and to help them have a day that's as beautiful as it can possibly be. And that might mean doing laundry, but for somebody else that might mean going to work at Kroger's or Goodwill or Chick-fil-A or Whataburger, and those residents have just as much of a meaningful day.
Talk about why it's important to be here at this event, at the Leads event.
Well, this is an incredible opportunity for us. I just recently was asked to serve on the Texas City ISD Foundation for the Future, and this is one of the activities that they sponsor, and I'm so honored. These students, if you can just get to folks at an early age to expose them to the needs in our community, I think there's that intrinsic gift from God that there's an opportunity just waiting inside of everyone to help somebody else. So I'm really encouraged that we get a chance to see 180 or 200 students come through here and show them who we are. And I brought some of my residents. There are about 5 or 6 of my residents I brought today, and they're here and they're talking their arms off. So their voice is being heard, and that just makes my day.
So is this your first year to be involved?
It is.
With this event?
Yes.
So we learned a lot about this event. We hadn't had the opportunity to come out here before, and just seeing how they're going to be giving out the scholarships. It's such a great thing going on today.
Yes.
And all these kids are learning, and some of them are actually participating right now, giving back, writing the notes.
Yes.
You know, maybe even scheduling a day where they can go out to the food bank. So it's really cool to see, like, you're learning about it, and then they're also doing it today.
Exactly, yeah. Several of them have, they didn't sign up on anything, but they've taken my flyer, and it has my email on it and my phone number. So I've encouraged all of them to communicate with me if they have ideas about their own service groups or their own church groups. I know that Pastor Catherine's going to be here shortly, and she's going to speak about leadership, and she brought a group, I believe, when you came. She was one of the folks that came along with it, and it was just a great day for the residents.
I've interviewed you before.
I think you did.
We did. We set up the big mobile camera and interviewed, and it was part of the video that we did for that Serve Week. It was an entire week of giving back into the community. How can people get in contact with you and find out more information about Independence Village?
Well, we just changed our website, and it's ivillagetexascity.org, and that's our website. And you can contact me directly there. And I'm always available on email, so I receive emails and respond to those generally with a day or at least a day and a half.
You need that cushion sometimes.
Yeah.
We're totally in that same boat. Is there anything else you'd like to share?
No, I guess the only thing is that I know that we're there because God put us there, and I know that the mission that we have is to make their lives enjoyable in all respects. And so we do that with every intention. As I said before, we do it on purpose, with purpose, and we're grateful that the community can support us.
Cool. And Jude Carricker is one of the people who works there, right?
Absolutely.
See
She's
her
my
over there.
sidekick.
We see her. She waved at a distance. She asked for a raise. I don't know if that's okay for us to ask for on the air, but she did say it. And if she said she didn't, then don't listen to her.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. It's 10:51. We have a couple minutes left before we sew the show up today. We're live in Texas City. We are learning about the Leads event. We have been experiencing and talking to different people that have a bunch of stuff going on. So we're excited.
Yeah, this is a fun event for us to be able to be a part of and to learn about. There's tons of students who are here, 186 of them, and we're super excited to learn more about what's going on. I think volunteering is one of the things that means a lot to you and I, and we're really excited for what the future holds for these students who are going to be participating in all these activities.
So we have a busy week coming up. I'm trying to look. Tomorrow is Friday, so it'll be TGIF. Have you ever heard of that one? It sounds so weird.
That's
after you've been saying TGI Tuesday. Thank goodness it's Wednesday, Thursday. But TGIF, I don't know. Does that sound weird? Tomorrow, we're going to be talking to Roland, and we're going to be talking to 3BQ. We're going to be back in our studio, and I think we're actually going to get to the arms room early in the morning and check out what they have going on.
Another early morning tomorrow morning.
Every morning should be an early morning, right? You know, the earlier you can start your day, sometimes the better it is. You know, it's a different opportunity to learn.
Just eat the frog.
It's an opportunity to give back,
right,
and spread awareness. So that's what we're going to be doing every day till forever. And, wake up early in the morning, start doing some good. That's what I think.
So we're going to be talking to Roland. They are releasing a new album, aren't they? Or getting ready to. Is it already out yet?
I don't think so.
So they're a local Christian band. So if you have not heard of Roland, they're going to be are they going to be bringing instruments and stuff and playing?
Last time they did not. I don't know if they will be. So.
Okay. So we have to maybe ask them to bring in some of their music so that we can play some of their songs tomorrow over the FM and then Correct.
Yeah, so Roland, it's ROELANT. Feel free to search them now. They would be on Apple Music. They'd be on Spotify. They are also on iTunes. And, tomorrow they're going to be on KHEA. So make sure you tune in. We're going to be on the FM, 8:30 a.m., bright and early. Right now we are in Texas City. Is this our first show, in Texas City? We're not off of Palmer, but we're, right here. We're off of 5th Avenue.
I think the only other places that we've, done stuff for Texas City was that dessert place out Michoacana. Is that right? I messed that up.
No, it's close to Michoacana, but it's not. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That dessert place. And then we've also done stuff with Get Fit Nutrition, which was also in Texas City. But we need to do more in Texas City.
And the firefighter games.
Oh, and the firefighter games. But there's tons of stuff to do in Texas City. Where did Chef Mary Bass say these tacos were from?
I'm not sure, but I wonder if Paloma would want the rest of this taco. I only took one bite of it.
Go give it to her. Hey, did we get pictures of it to post in the Talk of Taco?
I got a couple photos. I got 2. I say we sew the show up. I wanted to walk around and get some footage, and we're going to break down. I had a great time today.
I did. I had a fantastic time, and we learned about volunteering. I hope y'all who are watching did as well. We're going to be back again tomorrow morning, 8:30, bright and early, for Kickstart with Gardy and Curt. Thank you for watching KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM, also online at KHEARadio.com. Bye from Texas City.
Be blessed. Y'all have a good one. This is Kickstart.